bitch. Oh, excuse you? Baloney wash. I'm annoyed. I'm just here to give my opinion and carry Nanny. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Is we live, bitch? Yes, we is. Well, greetings, ladies, gentlemen, theys, and thems. It's your boy, Chris Avalon, and welcome to Unfiltered, the most unapologetic, opinionated, messiest, and sassiest talk show currently on the internet. Chris Avalon Unfiltered is a show where we dive deep into the juiciest headlines in entertainment, pop culture, and every now and again we might get a little political. So do yourselves a favor and grab yourselves a drink, a snack, or whatever is your pleasure. And let's get into this here gig, okay? Now, before we sip on this latest trending tea, can you please do me a solid and smash that like and subscribe button down below, and be sure to follow all my social media platforms as well. So, we got ourselves an action-packed show today, honey. We're gonna be talking about we're gonna hit on the Britney Spears thing. There's been so much stuff coming out with the whole Britney Spears story. Hold on, let me pull my mic a little closer. Pull me closer, Tony Danza, or however that song. I know it's Tiny Dancer, but I just like saying Tony Danza because I think it's funny. But anyway, yeah, so Britney Spears, there's been a lot of stuff coming out with her. We're not gonna go and break down everything because I've already been doing that. Like, if you follow me on TikTok at the Chris Avalon, you'll pretty much get the zhuzh of what you can't get out of there. But I'm gonna add a couple of little things here and there. But Sherri got dragged because she made a little snide comment about Britney. Also, we got some tea on Diddy, how he wanted to fight Will Smith for flirting with Jennifer Lopez. Apparently, they said Will and Jada was trying to get all up in J-Lo's drawers. They wanted to take her around the block, even though she's from the block. And then we're gonna talk about we're going to talk about Lady Relaxer herself, Young Jock, and his foolishness. Him getting caught with his foot in his damn mouth. We got some tea on Jussie Smollett, DJ Envy, Trey Songz, Kim Zolciak. Another Bravo lawsuit is upon us. And I got some good news regarding Nanny leaks that I'm going to throw in there too, since we're going to be talking things Bravo. Plus, I got some drag race news, so definitely stick around for that. There's a couple of drag race girls who, one is taking a break from drag, another one just dropped a new song, and another one opened up about their mental health. So we're going to be talking about all that stuff and a whole lot more. But not before, but yeah, do me a favor, please, everybody. As you're watching this, click like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff, so that way, keep the show, up and running and all that other stuff, because we wanted to get it in the algorithm. I want people to I want to share on the show because, this is my passion. This is what I love to do. And I love entertaining you guys. And I love, looking at the numbers and seeing the amount of people that watches every week. So I appreciate y'all and all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's get into the show. Okay. Because, we got a lot of topics and I want to be on here for 3 hours. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is Madonna, because, we talked a little bit about her last week, when literally the last show that we did was the day that her show in London launched. I believe her stint in London is already done. She has 2 more shows that she's going to be doing, but I think she comes back in December or January or something or another. I think early 2024 or the end of the year. I'm not sure. I don't have off the top of my head her date. But she kicked off the show. A lot of people are liking it. There's been some issues. We're going to get into that too. But a lot of the controversy, she's having a little controversial moment, making out with her dancers, all this stuff. Girl, I hope you're not passing them COVID, because that shit is still on and popping. Just so you know. And she's been incorporating one of the things that Madonna's always done. And I hate the fact that people are sitting there, she's trying to be like Blue Ivy, because majority of her children are in the show. So you have David, who's 18, he comes out at a point and plays a guitar, and then he also does a Michael Jackson segment. Then you have Shafundo, who also is known as Mercy, who plays the piano and during a portion of the show. So when Madonna comes out and sings Bad Girl, that's her daughter Mercy that's playing piano, and Bad Girl is one of my all-time favorite Madonna tracks, by the way. And then twins Stella and Esther are a part of the show as well. And Lourdes came out opening night where she held up, the tens and stuff during the Voguing segment. Now, speaking of Voguing, Madonna's come under fire over the Voguing segment, which is what I call the unapologetic bitch segment of the show. Like, if you've seen the Rebel Heart tour, you know that Madonna would have like the segment in the show during the unapologetic bitch song where she would bring a celebrity up on stage and they would participate in a little thing that she was doing. Like, they have to drink the banana, do other stuff. So she had Gwendolyn Christie come out, Diplo, a bunch of other people. Well, in this one, she has she brings up a celebrity or whatever, and they, judge the voguing contest. So her dancers come out in different fashions. It's like they only get 2 cards. Everybody else, if you ever judge the ball, you get multiple cards. But in this one, it's either a 10 or a child. So Madonna will bring up a celebrity. First night was her daughter Lourdes. Second night, FKA Twigs. Third night, I believe, was Diplo. I forget who was the fourth night, or maybe I didn't pay attention to who the fourth night was, but I know those were the ones that were doing it. But anyway, so her 11-year-old daughter Esther comes out during a portion in her little skin, her body hugging Versace, one-piece suit, and she got on some boots. And she comes out and she's pop dipping and spinning, doing her duck walk, hand movements, whacking, all that good stuff. But apparently people took to social media and they was upset. Well, some people gave her 10s, but there were some people that got upset over the fact that there's an 11-year-old up on stage voguing. So some of the comments said, first, before we get to the comments, I should probably show y'all the clip in case y'all haven't seen little Miss Esther working for her 10s. Roll the clip. And then we'll come back and address everybody's bitchiness over this situation, because I think it's stupid. And to that, I have to say 10s across the board, bitch, because Miss Mama A, she about to, give her a couple of years. She might give the house a T-she. She don't give Honey Balenciaga. All of them are run for her money. And I know I saw people talk about, she trying to be like Blue Ivy and this and that. I'm like, first of all, let's be clear. No shade, and I don't want to compare the children's, but since y'all brought it up, how long did it take for Blue Ivy to actually loosen up and act like she ate, the choreography when she was up on stage doing that damn when she was doing all that damn, I'm about tired of that. I'm sick of that fucking song. I would hear somebody, but I think the reason why I'm irritated by that song, by the way, I don't know why I got so amped up, is because there's this one person I be seeing on TikTok that literally, I don't know how many videos they did, but it's literally of the same choreography during that same segment. I'm like, girl, it's about time you come up with some new choreography. Like, you giving Britney Spears in the foyer twirling to the same damn 8 count. Like, girl, let's switch it up, okay? So I got to say, Esther 8, she did, and left no crumbs. So it took her in one damn show to do what it took. How many shows for Blue Ivy to loosen up and actually eat the choreography? And I want to compare, but what we're not going to do is sit up in here and try to act like Madonna's copying over Beyonce when in fact, Madonna has always incorporated her children in her show since they were born. I would have to say. Or since they were old enough to be able to be aware of what she does, and they want to get on stage and partake. Like Rocco, I believe, was the first one to perform with Madonna on stage. I don't think Lourdes ever did, except she was incorporated in the backdrop of Frozen during the oh my god, which tour was that? The last one, Madame X. Rocco performed with Madonna on stage during the MDNA tour, where he came out, he did a little choreography, and he also acted as a DJ. Same as her daughter did in this show. To start as a DJ and then came down and started dancing at the end, and then he does a little choreographed number. So that's what Rocco was doing back in the day. Now he's all being a sculptor. No, not a sculptor. He does art now. He paints. He's got a successful painting career. People, pretty much buy his stuff, see his stuff in galleries, all that good stuff. But to me, I don't see like this is a big deal. I know we have another clip, but let me get to the complaints. Okay. So one person wrote on X, an 11-year-old Voguing, and y'all think this is cute. My question is, why were we created? Like, why were we put here just to be bad people? So being a bad person is Voguing. But here we go when it comes to, but I'm sure you'd be the type that would applaud ninjas beating up people, robbing people, going to jail, getting out, all that other stuff. So all the stereotypes y'all live for, y'all eat that up. But a kid on stage innocently just dancing is a problem. Get off my line with that bullshit. Another person wrote, disgusting and inappropriate for an 11 years old. It's 11-year-old. First of all, if you're going to read, at least proofread before you hit send. But it's not shocking she grew up with Madonna. Madonna's a performer. So what does that even mean? Like, you're saying that she's grooming her children to be sexual objects? And this is another thing, too. I'm going to need you grown-ass people to stop sexualizing children. Because nothing about what Esther was doing was sexual. Her outfit, they had a problem with, too. And I'm like, so you want her up on stage in, like, what? A dress down to the floor, like something that you would see an Amish woman wear? You can't move. You can't put your leg up in the air or do a damn duck walk in that dress. You be tripping over the bottom of the fabric. I hate people. But look, I should also point out that it wasn't all negative. One said the outfit, the boots, the confidence, the sass, the slow drop, the braids swinging on beat. She's amazing. And some people threw in this shit. OMG, how awful! Grow old gracefully, Madonna. This is dreadful. First of all, she's a pop star. Y'all don't even allow people to age gracefully. So eat a dick on that. Another person said she ate. OMG, how full circle. This is absolutely the best. You better dance, girl. That's another one that said. So overall, I have to say, I found nothing wrong with this thing. At the end of the day, Madonna's an artist. She's projecting her performance art on stage along with singing her many a hits, and seeing a bunch of kids, seeing a bunch of her child or people up on stage dance and vogue and do all this stuff, which is basically how the gays in the community, that was like battle. That was like how hood people, like rappers or whatever, how battle rap. That's basically what that is with voguing. It's our version of like, we battling on the dance floor. You moving like doing all these crazy moves. So I see nothing wrong with it. I'm just glad that voguing is getting their just due. I'm still upset that HBO Max got rid of. I ain't calling no fucking Max. HBO Max got rid of Legendary. But at least the genre is getting their tens in other places. We got Beyonce, giving the flowers to voguing. We have Madonna, who's been doing, who has put voguing pretty much ushered, I should say, voguing into the mainstream for how long? For since the 90s. So over 3 decades. Finally given its proper flowers. Instead of just get them thin, I'm just going to sing the song and we're going to do Vogue and that's it. You really feel like, what, even though she was putting her show together a while ago, I do feel like when I watched the show, I do feel like maybe she was inspired a little bit by Beyonce's Renaissance tour and wanted to kind of incorporate that spirit into her show, especially when it comes to the voguing segment. So even though the rehearsals and everything was done and she was ready to go with, her going on tour alongside Pink and Taylor Swift and Beyonce and all other stuff, I do feel like that once because she had to take the break because she almost died and she was in the hospital, all this stuff, lost 5 days of her life, and then was getting her health back. I do feel like that once they started getting back into the rehearsals, she did kind of take the time to really give that extra essence to the show. So, you said we had another clip? So I see nothing wrong with it. Y'all keep going out here. Y'all keep doing what needs to be done. Y'all keep voguing. I know some people said that, oh, why is there kids at the show? I don't know. If there was kids at the Madonna concert out in London, let me know, because I don't know any little kids that's going to Madonna, especially how expensive the damn tickets are. Because they had a segment where they had during the Vogues segment, you know, you had some of the guys up on stage. One was in a jock strap, a sexy chocolate dancer, was in a jock strap, so cheeks and all. And I'm like, first of all, y'all know what y'all gonna get with Madonna. She's been making music for 4 decades. If y'all don't know what Madonna gives at a concert, then I think you was a little slow, because if you cannot still be complaining on Beyonce's internet in 2023 when everybody by now knows what Madonna gives at her show. So good luck to you, girl. I should say the show wraps on April 24th of 2024. I do think people need to lighten up. She was doing nothing but performing. I think people need to concern themselves with their own damn kids, because the only time y'all concerned about children is when it comes to the LGBT community. Y'all really don't give a damn about y'all kids, because y'all be having them little rugrats running around acting a fool, getting into shit while you go laying it low and spreading it wide with a bunch of men you don't even know who their daddy is, or you N-words out here, dudes, be out here with y'all bullshit. But then all of a sudden y'all want to act like y'all give a damn about these kids. Y'all don't. So, I'm gonna say all this, y'all keep doing what y'all do.
She's just really sweet and just very nice, and she's the coolest ever. I did too. We never said that.
3 celebrities you'd want to do a duet with.
Oh, Adele, Pink, and not Madonna.
Shade. Funnily enough, I did see something that I saw a video on Instagram the other day. There's a lot of people that got issues with Madonna. I don't know if it's still going on, but I remember there was something I saw on Instagram. They stitched something together saying that Madonna wasn't nice. Michael Jackson was caught on audio saying some stuff on Madonna, even though they went on a date, and I think they went to the Oscars. He wound up saying that he told her to shut up, because there was a time when they were out and there was some kids that wanted some photos, and she told them to get lost. And you know, Michael Jackson loved the kids, so if you want to disrespect children, he ain't got no respect for you. And then Diana Ross, they pulled up an old clip of her on Graham Norton's show, because you know he's been doing his show since forever, and he said, no, not he. He brought up Madonna or something or another, and Diana was trying to be nice about it, and you could see it on her face, like, So she went and opened her. She was like, she doesn't really care for her because she was disrespectful to her children. Her kids wanted a picture with Madonna or her autograph, and she was very rude. And yeah, back in the day, she really was. But I feel like she has mellowed out a lot. And I will say this, girl, you need to get it together with your tardiness, because there's been a lot of complaints at this show that you've been going on late, that the past couple of shows you had to cut a lot of your songs short because the curfew, like there's curfews that they have at a couple of these venues. You cannot be going on at 9:00 and your show is a little over 2 hours, and then you want to do the whole show. So you can't be doing, especially as complex as your show is, you don't have backup singers. You're not using a band. Everything is to a track, except for every now and again, somebody will come out with a guitar. Exactly. Like Lauryn Hill, who they said was like a couple of hours late the other day when she did a show in Jersey, and the Fugees and all them was up in there. He was pissed. But y'all already know what Lauryn Hill gives. She been showing her entire ass for decades. Has it really been decades? I mean, she's been Miseducation. Her one album came out 25 years ago. Excuse me, like in 99 or something like that, I think. So, I say all this to say, girl, get it together. You really need to be able to complete. I think there was one night she did complete the whole show, but every country is different. And my thing is, if there's gonna be issues, the technical issues, whatever the case is, there should be run-throughs of that earlier. It's not like they're taking apart your stage and then put it back together and then, no, you were there for multiple nights. So they should have been doing earlier run-throughs with the music. You could have came out and did a rehearsal, whatever the case was, to see like how everything's working, making sure everything is on point before you come and do the show. And not have these people out here waiting, because you will get fined. They're going to shut your music off and put on the lights and you can't finish your show, or you're going to get fined hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you really need to get it together, or try to come on earlier. Like I remember when I was in the circus, we will always come out and the performers will come out and be rehearsing. It wasn't just like, they just come out when the show was going to get going. They came out, they did their little run through, see like if everything was working. The band would come out, make sure everything was on point. Like you always have to oil your instrument every day. You can't just go, we're just going to trust and hope everything works. The audio people, the lighting, all that other stuff, making sure everything works before the show starts and before we start bringing the people in. So, ma'am, you've been doing this for 4 decades. By now, you should know how to do what needs to be done. But anyway, good luck to you girls, so we can move on, because I spent a little too much time on this Madonna topic. But, it is what it is. Now, speaking of pop stars, I'm sure you already heard all the tea about Britney Spears. Like I talked about her, if you follow me on TikTok. I posted a story about how she reveals in the upcoming book, The Woman in Me, that she got pregnant with Justin Timberlake's baby when they were in a relationship 20 plus years ago, and he wasn't ready to be a father. He said they were too young, they were not ready to be parents, and so she wound up having an abortion. And she said that if it was up to her, she would have kept it. But I guess she didn't want to be a single mother. And people were like, oh, well, look at Jamie Lynn. She did what she did. I was like, first of all, we're not going to compare Britney to Jamie Lynn. I would have said that's like comparing Beyonce to Solange, but that would have been too much of a hard read. First of all, I like Solange, so and I like Solange music. And Solange is a completely different artist than Beyonce. So we're not going to compare that. That's like apples to, whatever kind of rotten fruit would be Jamie Lynn. And plus, Jamie Lynn wasn't that big of a star. Yeah, she had her little show on Nickelodeon, whatever the case was, but she wasn't that big of a star. And what? She was the second one to just get eliminated from Dancing with the Stars. So she wasn't that, excuse me. She wasn't that big of a celebrity. So yeah, she could go back to home in Louisiana and be a mom and have a bunch of kids and all that other stuff. Britney was the biggest star. She had the big career, and she was not going to put that at risk for nothing. And plus, on top of that, the industry then is not how the industry is now. So that you look at people like a Sexy Red could come out and get pregnant, and they're okay with her getting out there and trying to squeeze as much out of her as they can, and it won't affect her career at all because people don't care. Cardi B could have 2 damn kids before she released album number 2, and y'all are okay with that. So the times have changed, apparently, that y'all are okay with people being pregnant and in the beginning of their career, and it's not a career, it's not a hinder to their career. So the times was different then. So we revealed that. Then we revealed, finally I feel vindicated. I already mentioned this on my TikTok, that Wade Robson, she cheated on Justin with him. And I said that, I've been saying that for years. So a lot of the stuff that's been coming out, and I know there's some people would worry about, well, damn, is that, because I asked this too, is there going to be anything left in the book for us to read? Because People Magazine just spilling all the damn tea for the whole week. And so I was like, maybe what it is the fact that I'm sure there's way more in the book, but all the stuff that's coming out is stuff that I think have been long-standing rumors. They're just being confirmed. And I'm going to still read The Woman in Me. I'm not going to stop not read it because, stuff is being spilled on social media. And then there was that, so they both was cheating on each other, long story short. Britney was getting it in with Wade Robson. Justin was messing with Nicole Appleton, allegedly, from All Saints, and some other singer that was, I guess, that was the opening act on the NSYNC tour. He was hooking up with some girl. So he was going around being a hoe too. But what I didn't like is how the media and the industry basically, well, I won't even say the industry. The media made Britney out to be this whore. Like she was just going around, laying alone and spreading it wild with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And Justin Timberlake was the golden boy. But what we've seen over the years is the fact that Justin has proven to be a simp, a bitch ass, and someone who will throw his own mother under the bus to maintain his money, success, fame, and glamour. Because he threw Janet under the bus, and he threw Britney under the bus, among other people. So he cannot be trusted. So the reason why I bring this up is because Sherri Shepherd recently appeared on an episode of Watch What Happens Live, and Issa Rae was on there, and they wound up playing a game because Andy Cohen loves playing games on his show. So the name of this game was called Do You Give a Damn? And this is on Wednesday's episode of Watch What Happens Live. And he asks you a bunch of questions. Basically, it's a simple game. I ask you, do you give a damn? You say yes or no. So he asked if they give a damn about Britney Spears' highly anticipated memoir. Issa Rae said that she's eager to read the book because Britney's been dropping a lot of tea. And, so she cares and she's interested in hearing, and all the excerpts that's been coming out, she's like, oh yeah, I'm excited to hear what she's got to say. But then Sherri was asked, and they was talking about if Justin cheated on her with another, there's this thing that came out about Justin cheating on her with another celebrity. They thought it was another Mouseketeer. It actually wasn't, that we know of, but I already told y'all who it was. And then he asked Sherri, and she basically said, not really, because how many chapters you gonna have crazy, 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 and crazy? And she was like, I said it. I was like, okay, I'm glad you standing 10 toes down on some shit. But the fans was not too happy with what Sherri Shepherd had to say. And they let their feelings be known on social media, of course, because Twitter is what Twitter is. So here's what they said about Sherri making that disgusting gig. And basically saying that the talk show host, part of the problem is that has turned Britney into a victim. Saying, why would you call someone that went through so much scrutiny from the media and destroy her mentality crazy? One of several critics tweeted, while someone else noted, yikes, that's not very nice of her, which is followed by, I need this woman to be held accountable for her words immediately. I'm like, first of all, calm down, person. It's like, she said what she said, but held accountable for having an opinion? Okay, relax. Sherri's entitled to her opinion. And let's be clear, not that I'm defending what she's saying, but don't sit up in here and act like we ain't all been giving Britney the side-eye thinking she is half-ass crazy. But hearing all the things that she went through and the way she was treated since she was 15 and working to get a record deal and all this other stuff, and how she was talking about how those record execs were looking at her while she was in her dress and her heels when she was singing, doing her audition in front of them, and how they've sexualized her and they would do all these things, the way they would treat her and stuff in the industry. You definitely can see why she is the way she is. She was not allowed to have a childhood. She was treated like a product that they could just go around and like a pawn on the chessboard. Like, oh, we're just going to make you do what we want you to do. We're going to control you. And she was controlled for the majority of her career, which is why she hates the industry. But I feel like once you get all this out of your system, and she said that she's kind of put it all behind her, I feel like she can come back and do things on her own terms. So that's what I'm hoping she pulls from, exercising her demons and, waxing cathartic through this book. So another person wrote, what an entirely dismissive thing to say about someone who survived such trauma. What else has single-handedly pushed the public to pushed the public to re-examine conservatorships to the degree she has? Others took aim at Sherri, quipping things like, her show is the kind of show you're forced to watch in the waiting room at the dentist's office. I'd rather be crazy and fun than boring as hell. Ooh, shit. Another jokester added, what's crazy is thinking you could ever replace Wendy Williams. Look, Then another person want to say, I hope she do some self-searching. I know we are angry with what she said, but we need to hit back in a nice way, though. Respect others if you want people to respect you. Okay. So Dad, you want to take the kumbaya approach, which is fine if you want to do that. But I did find it funny. Like, I knew somebody was going to read you about taking over Wendy's show. And now I'm hearing that, speaking of which, because they're to my talk shows, whatever, I'm hearing that, what's his name? The Asian guy on Ken Jeong from The Masked Singer, that he filmed the pilot for a talk show in New York. So they're trying to get him. Deborah Mercury's working on him with a talk show. So we got more talk shows coming. And I actually like Ken Jeong. First of all, we need some diversity in daytime. Like, y'all get an Asian dude up in there. That would be cool to have somebody that's up there that could do a show. But anyway, so I said this to say, look, Sherri said what she said. She's entitled to her opinion. You can either agree with it or not. But I did think it was kind of like, okay, so you thinking that, I mean, that's all you're brushing it off as crazy, crazy, crazy. But y'all sit up here and praising Jada Pinkett with all her toxicity. So good luck to you, Sherri, because child, and I do agree, that show is kind of boring. Like, I'll tune in every now and again depending on what it is, but I'm not watching the Sherri Shepherd show. My mother loves the Sherri Shepherd show. Whenever I talk to her, whatever, she tells me like, oh, I love Sherri Shepherd. Didn't like Wendy Williams, so that just goes to show where our personality is different. You know, I like a little grist with my meal. My mother's all about, you know, positivity and all that stuff. Not that I'm not. I can be positive too. But I like messiness. So I need entertainment. I don't want to sit up here and watch somebody. Oh, I just want to put a smile on your face. No, child. You just background fodder for, like they said, the dentist's office, the doctor's office. Like, that's the shit they put on in the background. Like, when I'm in the gym, I be mad because they have it on freaking Fox News and that other conservative channel. I'm like, why is it on here? Can y'all change this damn TV? But anyway, good luck to you, Sherri. Okay, so let's talk about because we did mention Will and Jada and all that other stuff. Or did I mention Will? Well, I mentioned Jada, but you know, they come as a package deal, even though they ain't married, or they're separated, I should say. So apparently, let's talk about Will and Jada and how Diddy wanted to fight Will Smith. Now, according to Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, the bad boy mogul allegedly wanted to snuff Will Smith after he and his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, tried to hook up with J-Lo at a party Matt Damon was throwing for his best friend, Ben Affleck. So, damn, look, J-Lo been in the cypher. I like Sherri too. Well, productions, but I like Sherri too, but you know what I have to say about Sherri? It's good that she actually come out of her shell and say what she really means. Because too often I be getting so irritated with a lot of these people that's in the industry that always want to give like this diplomatic answer when it comes to stuff. And I'm like, look, I like when people stand 10 toes. If she think Britney gonna be crazy, and that's what she's gonna live in the book, then okay, well, we know you're not gonna read it. And I don't think she's that bothered by Britney anyway, because Britney ain't doing no damn interviews to promote the book to begin with. So I guess what she probably felt the need to be like, because I heard it's already gone, like already sold a lot of copies, pre-orders, all that other stuff. Then I saw somebody post online that they got the book in the mail on today, which would be Saturday. So I'm definitely gonna get the book and all that good stuff. So, but look, Sherri's entitled to her opinion, just like we all are. And this whole thing, she must be handled immediately. Get out of here with that. But anyway, so let's get back to this story, okay? Because I don't know, I just got to go into that whole Sherri thing. Now, according to Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, the bad boy mogul allegedly wanted to snuff Will Smith after he and his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, tried to hook up with J-Lo at a party Matt Damon was throwing for his best friend, Ben Affleck. Now, see how funny is that? Maybe not Britney. Maybe I think J-Lo and Ben Affleck, you think they were meant to be like, they kept being in each other's orbit so many times. Like, she went to a party Matt Damon was throwing for Ben Affleck when she was with Diddy at the time. Then they, you know, I think which album was it? It was the third album. That's when she and Ben Affleck kind of started getting together. And then she had them all over the album and in the video for Jenny from the Block. Then they wound up splitting up because of the paparazzi, and they ended up coming back together whenever this new album come out. I mean, we got a release date for Billy Porter album before we got a release date for J-Lo album. But anyway, let's get back to the story. So Deal was asked about the alleged incident in an interview with The Art of Dialogue, where he recalled Puff's heated reaction after suspecting that the Men in Black star and his actress wife were trying to lure J-Lo into the bedroom, saying, "We were at a birthday party I think Matt Damon was giving for Ben Affleck. It was just a little gathering at the Four Seasons," Deal remembered. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, Puff, Will, and Jada were sitting on one side of the room. Puff stood up. When he stood up, he walked and did his arms in a certain kind of way, like crossing them. I go over towards me. He says to me, "Yo, I think Will and Jada are trying to scoop up Jennifer. I want you to stay close because I'm a snuffer." Gene Deal laughed. Hold on, let me Gene Deal laughed as he recalled thinking to himself that Will Smith would most likely beat the shit out of Diddy, although he acknowledged that his former employer could scrap. The ex-bodyguard also remembered strategically positioning himself far away enough from Puff so that if he were to snuff Will, I could move slow enough that Will could possibly get 2 or 3 punches back in. That shit was funny, he concluded with a chuckle. He thought that Will and Jada were coming on too strong to Jennifer, making advances. It's unclear when the alleged incident happened exactly, but Diddy and Jennifer dated between 1999 and late 1999, I should point out, and early 2001 after meeting on a music video set. Despite once apparently wanting to punch Will Smith, Diddy reportedly played the role of peacemaker last year when the former Fresh Prince of Bel-Air star slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars for poking fun of Jada Pinkett's alopecia. They said Paycheck report at the time, Puff spoke to both Smith and Rock separately after the incident, which made front page news around the globe. It's funny enough, I don't remember that. But if y'all say it's true, we'll go along with it. So yeah, it goes on and on and on and on and on. Look. I found it funny that people were always talking about, well, Jada never really fully disclosed whether or not she was into women. And clearly it was like they had an open relationship. And Will wasn't somebody who was traditionally into that, but I feel like because he loved Jada so much, he was willing to bend his rule or whatever it was, his moral compass, so that way he could let Jada have the freedom she wanted. Because look, she said they had to drag her kicking and screaming down the aisle just to marry him. Which, in my opinion, that should have been a red damn flag. Like, I'm not going to put a gun in your head and force you to marry me if you don't want to marry me. Like, we're not going to do that. But I don't know. If these two, I just don't understand, like, well, maybe she thought it was going to help her career in some sort of way if she married one of the biggest movie stars at the time, or successful TV stars or movie stars. And Jada Pinkett had a little hot career. Like, she was doing what? Demon Knight, and she had, Jason's Lyric and Woo, and she had all her little, and The Matrix, Reloaded Revolutions. Like, she had her little parts that she was getting. So I don't understand, like, but I don't know. Could that have all been at the benefit of her being married to Will Smith, that actually helped her career even more? But I think she admitted that she was hooking up with girls, and because I believe in the beginning she was denying it, but then I started hearing stuff coming out saying that she did say that she hooked up with women, that she used to go to a couple of the gay bars, and how she hooked up with women. And so and even I was watching TGIF, and Claudia Jordan told a story when she was working back behind the scenes on a project that Jada was there, and talked about how there were some things that she saw that it was like, okay, Jada gets down with the get down. So I think every now and again she enjoys the comfort of a woman. Do I think she's a lesbian? Do I think she's bisexual? No, I think she likes to have fun with women every now and again, but I think for the most part, she's mostly attracted to dick. And on occasion she'll get her, her whistle wet with a man or whatever. I mean, a woman, not a man. She gets with men a lot. I mean, clearly she was getting entangled with August Alsina, which, child, that was a damn affair. We're not going to sit up here and talk about some damn entanglement. Like, you entangle a pretzel. You don't entangle people. Or you could get twisted up if y'all playing Naked Twister or something. But I do find it funny, like, Diddy acting like he owned J-Lo, like he was being real possessive. And getting all jealous because Will was hitting on her and this, that, and the third. Look, we all know that Hollywood is one big cesspool of hedonism. So, but I do find it funny that the security guard was like, he was going to let Diddy get his, his ass beat. Which kind of makes you wonder is that, he probably didn't particularly care for Diddy. Being, his egomaniacal attitude. Speaking of which, I did find it funny, like, I know a lot of people, there have been people that have been saying like they feel like people been going too hard on Jada. Because there was something that I had came across and I was like, first of all, we need to talk about this when it comes to the Jada situation. And this bothered me. So there was some girl on social media posted, I'm noticing the difference between Britney Spears telling us all her business and Jada Pinkett Smith telling us all her business and how people are reacting. Noted. Which basically gives me the notion that you're trying to make this about race. And what we're not going to do on Beyonce's internet is, and Blue Ivy's, because I'm going to add her in that too, that we're not going to make this a racial issue, because that's not what it is. I think a lot of people take issue with Jada because Jada keeps putting us in this group chat and spilling tea that we ain't asked her to spill. And on top of that, she's perpetuated this image about herself that like they're these, we need to take on issues that affect the community with mental health and sex and relationships. And y'all acting like a bunch of goddamn professional gurus out here. All the while you've been separated from your husband of 6 years and they've been forthcoming about a lot of things that's been going on in your relationship. But you're on social media, doing the red table talk, giving people advice. And people will take the word of a celebrity over a damn politician when it should be the other way around. We should be trusted in our public figures, our public officials and politicians who are trying to help, you would think, when we put them in office to move the country forward in a better direction, rather than y'all trying to just, look at a celebrity for guidance in your life when they're not even the right people y'all should be looking at. So that's the overall. So then when they pulled the curtain back, we realized that, in the words of Carly Red, it was all a lie. Now everybody want to get all upset. So I think that's what people are upset about, is that Jada has presented herself and her family in this way where y'all sit up and giving advice, but all the while you've been lying to the public. Y'all been in on this whole charade acting like y'all married. And how she went and said that she realized she loved Will when he did what he did at the Oscars. And I'm like, girl, get off my line with this bullshit. So it's a lot of contradictions. The whole thing of how people feel like she emasculates him when she says things about him. But then on the other hand, shouldn't Will, as a man, stand up for himself and be like, okay, well, I'm not just going to let you talk to me crazy. But then there's some people that are alpha male or alpha person in their business life, or very dominant in their career or whatever the case is, but when they're at home, they take more of the submissive role. And I think because Jada her career has taken such a back seat from being married to Big Willie, she probably looks at it as that she was kind of like the alpha female at home, and she controls everything and probably puts Will in his place or whatever. So I don't know. I just think y'all need to work on y'all situation. I think y'all need to get divorced and move on. The kids are grown. They're in their 20s. Y'all don't need to use them or whatever as a reason to stay together. Y'all don't need to be married, because now it's like you're married on paper, but you're not putting in the work that it takes to be a married couple. Y'all just living two completely separate lives, but on paper y'all still married. Because I guess y'all want to file the paperwork. You don't want to have to deal with all the extra BS that comes with that, like who gets what and splitting everything down the middle and who gets which, this many houses, this many cars, this many this, this many that. Y'all don't want to have to split nothing, because we know how LA is when it comes to, divorce proceedings. So that could be why they don't want to get a divorce either. But y'all gonna be miserable not trying to figure all that out. So, all right, good luck, girl. And Will, because y'all are a hot ass mess. And that's why I think it is. Whereas with Britney, because I didn't even get the Britney part, I'm about to go on to the next segment. But with Britney, it's like she hasn't really had the opportunity to tell her side of the story, to be heard, to have the freedom to express herself, because she's been controlled since the inception of her career. Even Sherri said when they were on the Vegas Strip and they was all working, that they had an inkling that something was going on with her in the conservatorship, and she was medicated, but just enough where she could work. So you don't want to over-medicate her, but you want to medicate her just enough where she can get up on stage and do her job and make them coins for the people that she's employing or are in her employment. So that was the gag with that. So I feel like that's what that's the difference, is the fact that Britney doesn't have an opportunity to tell her side of the story and to use her voice to, you know, be heard. So there's the difference. That's actually one of my topics. Yeah, I wrote that article earlier. Production was let me know something. So yeah. Okay, so let's move right along. So good luck, y'all, J-Lo and you, or whatever. But you know, I can't see J-Lo eating no coochie. So, or getting her coochie ate by no other woman. She gives me like she love men. And if you follow her career, we know she does. Speaking of people who might low-key love men, but might be in denial, let's talk about Young Ja. So Love and Hip Hop star Young Ja clearly wants to go viral like Bussy Mad Ass, who recently claimed he turned down $250K to perform at a Pride event because in a recent interview, he felt the need to throw shade at the gays. Now, before we get to that story, the rapper previously made a bigoted statement saying he didn't understand why people felt the need to announce whenever they came out of the closet. Here's his quote from that. He said, "My only question is, why do people have to come out? I'd be like, damn, today is the day you want to come out? Why you want to come out? For me, I get a lot of tension when I have this conversation with people. I always ask, what's your sexuality got to do with what the fuck we got going on?" So you thinking people just come out of blue, like, hi, I'm a homosexual. Oh, by the way, my name is Joe. What's your name? And what's your pronouns? And what's your gender? And what do you like to do? You like sucking dick? You like eating coochie? Like, that's not how a whole conversation go. So miss me with that BS, bigoted BS. Then he says, because he said this, and this is why I'm saying it. He said, hey, guy, if you want to suck some penis, do that. That's your effing business. Why does everybody got to come out and be like, hey, I'm gay? Well, maybe I should ask that. I mean, not ask that, answer that for you before we get to the rest of the story. A lot of times when celebrities come out of the closet, it gives regular people the reassurance that they're not alone in the world, especially if you don't live in metropolitan type of areas like a New York, an LA, a Chicago, one of those type of places. In New York, you could, everywhere you bat your eyes, you could run into a gay or a lesbian or bisexual or transsexual or a non-binary person. We are a melting pot of people who embody different sexual orientations and genders. So, in New York, you really don't have to worry about that all that much. In LA, depending on where you live, or I guess, LA is, the people are moving all around because certain areas, when they start to get less expensive, that's when people want to move, and then they want to bump up the market value and all that stuff. That's the same thing they do everywhere else. So that's why people feel the need to come out. It's not that we coming out because we want to make you feel uncomfortable. It's so that way we get to live out loud and proud and be comfortable for ourselves. Because a lot of times we as queer people tend to suppress who we are so that we don't make other people uncomfortable. But it's coming to a point where I'm no longer, well, I'll speak for me. I'm not dimming my light to make you uncomfortable. I'm not. So if you got a problem with me and how I roll and me as a person or other shit, you can go all the way over there and do what you need to do. We don't need to work together. We don't need to collaborate. We don't need to do those things. So people should be able to express themselves how they see fit, whether you feel comfortable about it or not. Now, recently he did an interview with Vlad TV of all places and said that he wouldn't perform for the LGBTQ plus community for even $250,000. He said he too would refuse the payment if it meant he had to get on stage in front of gay men specifically. You gotta watch how he says it though. Ja admits being extremely uncomfortable with men gawking at him with lustful eyes as he raps lyrics to his hit It's Going Down. Ja stresses just how much $250K is and how big it is to get paid that much cash in one sitting. So here's the thing. This is why I find it funny. He said that he would not perform for the gays, right? For $250K. First of all, who's offering you that kind of money? And second of all, when you do a show, a pride event, any kind of event, don't you gotta have at least more than 1 or 2 songs to actually put on a full show? Like, nobody can name any other Young Jock song besides "It's Going Down." What other songs y'all got? Most people know him from being a whole buffoon on Love and Hip Hop more than his music. And then again, it made me wonder, because I'm like, is he saying all of this because he got a taste of what it's like to be called all kinds of homophobic slurs? Because remember at one point, he was running around here with a whole, Tasha K's Shake and Go perm. Look at a hot ass mess. And then he had like blue hair at one point where it was like all to the side, was all asymmetrical, where he was looking like one of the members of Flock of Seagulls. Like he was looking a whole mess out here with trying all these different hairstyles for attention, permanent hair, doing these wild hair colors and all this other stuff. And people started calling him gay. Because, anytime you dye your hair, you bleach your hair, you blow out your hair, you paint your nails, you do anything that's remotely out of what is considered masculine, you're automatically gay. So because he got a little taste of that and he couldn't handle it, because, y'all egos are so goddamn fragile, then you want to go back on whatever, and now you want to persecute the gays or come for the gays. First of all, the gays ain't thinking about you. And no shade, but Jock, you are not that attractive. Not to our community. Now, ain't nobody looking at young Jock and just being thinking like, oh, I want to suck his dick. Like, ain't nobody really thinking that. No dudes I know. And I damn sure isn't. I damn sure isn't. I'll say I damn sure ain't. I'm trying to speak proper English. Don't like whatever. I'm just gonna speak like me. I damn sure ain't. I ain't thinking about sleeping with no ugly ass young Jock. First of all, he looked like he need a whole lot of lotion on that body. Number 2, you look dusty. Your music ain't all that good. You had like one hit a bunch of years ago. He remind me of Waka Flocka. Just dumb and irrelevant. But then the gag is, he said he would never perform for a pride event, but there's this chick named Kia Comedy. Well, she goes by Kia Comedy on social media. That's her handle. But her name is Kia Barnes. She's a gay comic, and she revealed, because the one thing I love about the internet is they will come with a receipt. Y'all be trying to act like that the internet didn't exist past a certain period, but the internet never lies. And receipts don't lie. So Kia revealed that he performed at a gay pride event back in 2017. So, but then he tried to backpedal and pussy pop and say, oh, I wouldn't I wouldn't perform for men. I would perform for women, which is that typical male misogyny bullshit that y'all do, where y'all are comfortable and okay with lesbians. Because y'all think that y'all gonna be able to sleep with them. Y'all thinking they gonna open up their bedroom and let you come up in there and watch them go at it, or you get to participate in a threesome. Whereas you got a problem with gay men because we thinking about sleeping with you. That says more about you than about the gay community. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and lie. There are some gay men that are out here that do make us look bad. Just like there's people in the trans community that make the trans girls look bad. When y'all be out here purposely seeking out these straight boys because y'all get off on, turning somebody out. And a lot of y'all play into that. And we have that in our community too, where the gay boys like to go after the straight ones, and they try to go out and conquer straight boys, and just so that way they could say that they hit it, or they slept with a straight boy. I turned him out. We got that problem too. Not just the trans girls out here sleeping with men and then exposing them on social media and all this other stuff, which we've seen a lot of trans girls do. The gays do it in our community, like I said, as well. But not all of us. Me, I'm against that. I don't got time to sit up here trying to feed the curiosity of stray boys and playing around with stray boys and trying to sleep with them. Child. Come on, flock of seagulls. I told you I had that asymmetrical hairdo. I wanna knock on your door. Help on your window pane. Till you come back to me. I feel like singing a Anita Baker song, child. That's what I'm about to get into. You bring me joy. That's what that hair is giving me. Or like one of those them 90s R&B singers.
Don't get me wrong. Somebody called me damn like, hey, yo man, you $250,000. All right, what I gotta do? No, I may not do it either. That's not that I have nothing against LGBTQ people, but I just may not understand. I may not be in the know enough to feel comfortable enough to do this. I just don't know, because I don't want to start doing that. Maybe I don't want to be comfortable with this lifestyle. Is that okay? Is that okay to say? Is that okay to say? I'm hold up. What's happening? In my trunk, running just for the freak. Catch me in the snow. Listening in my lap on the phone, count low. If the girl too, let her do it.
There you have it. So the receipts don't lie. We've seen him perform at a Pride event. Kia said that he performed on her birthday party and he performed at a Pride in 2017. That was 6 years ago. So receipts don't lie. And I'm sick and tired of these black artists, rappers coming out and continuously dissing our community, but will take our money and continue to diss us. Or say, I won't do this and I don't understand the lifestyle, but you was just at a Pride parade, a Pride event 6 years ago, taking their money and performing. So I'm sick and tired of this shit. I feel like we need to get to a point as a community. We got to start standing up for ourselves. We got to start standing up for what's right in regards of, we need to vote with our dollars. We need to stand up and be like, we're not going to allow certain people to continue to disrespect our community and to take our money and perform at our establishments. Why aren't Pride events and promoters putting money and energy behind, especially in the black community, black Pride community? Because I think the white Pride, they do book a lot of their people. I mean, they'll throw a straight ally up in there, be it a Cher, a Kylie Minogue, one of those type of girls, a Kim Petras. A couple of them be performing at the Pride events. A Mariah Carey, what they just had, and Megan Thee Stallion. But we really need to stop always seeking validation from these straight people and really invest in our community and our artists and our talent. So I'm always trying to look on the outside, especially in the black queer community. Y'all keep giving too much energy and credence into these things. So I'm not upset about what Young Jock says. He's a hypocrite. He's full of shit. And you were just saying something because you wanted attention. And now you got a white space because that's what you went on. You went on Vlad TV, which is run by a white man who has continuously financially benefited from black media, and he continues to push this rhetoric and ask these questions. How many times he gonna have Boosie on and ask him about how he feel about the LGBT community? Because he's looking for that viral moment. They had a nerve to sit up in here like viral don't necessarily turn into dollars. That's that bullshit you said last week when you was on the Breakfast Club. But it seems like you always looking for a viral moment on the backs of the queer community. And y'all know how a lot of these vlogs, the neighborhood talks in the shade room, how y'all like to cherry pick just to start y'all bullshit and get people riled up. Meanwhile, we got a whole bunch of craziness that's going on in this world, but y'all upset over the LGBTQ community living their best life. And some has-been rapper with 1 hit, 1.5 hit, throwing shade at the queer community. So I don't think anybody in their right mind would offer $250K to him. I don't even think Boosie was offered that money. I think Boosie full of shit. And if he is telling the truth, whoever the promoter was that came up with that money and was going to throw it at him and give it to him, you was a damn fool. So if these organizations are going to continuously give money, hypothetically, let's just say, because I know they do it too. Like, we have heard the stories about how that we have these events and they put money into these artists, and these artists will talk shit about us in that same establishment backstage before they go on to perform in front of the gays. But you hate us. But you got a whole lot of, I don't understand this domination, this, that, and the third. But y'all go out and y'all perform and get that check. That's why I love people like Tank, because Tank is the one who's comfortable in his skin. And he goes out and he performs at Pride events. He makes his money. He got his wife. They know his songs. He's not worried about people feeling like. And another thing is like, okay, like Young Jock's music or that type of music, ain't no gay men really trying to, you know, get all sexual with that. That's, you go, the lesbians be more entertained with that bullshit than the gays. Like, if you had an Usher there, I could understand that. Like, he's singing "You Got It Bad" or one of his little sexy R&B songs, and he got up there and was serenading a dude just out of for the performance sake, without people calling him gay. Because, you know, if he was to do that because I'm acting and I'm performing and whatever, because I'm at a Pride event, which would make sense to do, people want to question your sexuality. Which is why a lot of these R&B singers don't do these events, because they don't want that. They don't want people suspecting. So, John, go sit your ass down somewhere and just continue to be the caricature over at Love and Hip Hop, and continue to make your little crumbs from Mona Scott. Or, you know, from Mona Scott. Because, you know, the perm on your head may lie, but the receipts don't. All right, so now let's talk about Jussie Smollett, who announced himself this week that he has checked himself into rehab after a difficult period in his life. And it says that Jussie has had an extremely difficult past few years. A representative for the out actor told TMZ on Wednesday. He has quietly been working very hard for some time now, and we are proud of him for taking these necessary steps. It's unclear what specific treatment he will be receiving, although Smollett has mentioned that he has used the booger sugar. Now, in case you need a refresher, in 2021, Smollett was convicted of 5 out of 6 counts of disorderly conduct related to making a false report to police about a hate crime supposedly committed against him in Chicago in 2019. He claimed that on a cold night in January of that year, he was attacked by 2 men who beat him, used racial and anti-gay slurs, put a noose around his neck, and poured bleach on him, then left him out in the frigid temperatures. He was sentenced to 150 days in jail at the time, but was released pending the outcome of his appeal. Wow, we was all feeling the way we was feeling, but I had to say that, child, first of all, I'm like, who had time to do all that? So we attack you, we call you a bunch of slurs, we put a noose on your head, we pour bleach. Like, who got time to do all of that? Like, that's a whole lot. First of all, we should have known that was a lie, because that was overkill. Like, you was doing too much for the assault. Normally, if you get assaulted for being queer, they just beat your ass and leave you bloodied and bruised. They're not going to be carrying a bunch of props around just to wrap around you. Like, that's not of a damn movie, but whatever. So, the Osundairo brothers, you know, the ones who co-inspired with Jussie, that participated in the whole discrimination hoax in Chicago, spoke out to TMZ and gave their opinion on the situation. Now, Bola and Ola said if Jussie really had a problem that required treatment from rehab, he could have checked himself in a long time ago, but he waited until an appeals court was ready to rule on his conviction for faking a hate crime. So, look, because at the end of the day, I just want Jussie to get the help that he needs. I'm not going to sit and put a date or a timestamp on when somebody should get help. If you feel that you need to go to rehab today, go today. If you feel like you're not ready to go today, but you want to go in like 2 weeks from now, then go in 2 weeks from now. It's whenever you feel ready. First of all, Jussie's been working. on some stuff. I know he was directing a movie that not too long ago. We saw Vivica Fox had made a cameo in the film. I don't know if he finished the film or if he's finished the film and is in post-production, but that requires hours of editing and this, that, and the third. Now, directors, writers, all of them can work. The only people who can't work is actors. So Jussie, as a director, can do whatever it is that he's doing. So maybe he was working on a project. They said in the article that he was working on a multitude of projects. So maybe that's why. But then on the other hand, maybe there is some truth to it. So it could be two things be true at the same time. Maybe there is some truth to the situation that he, his people waited for the appeal to come down and it was like, oh, it's not looking good. That Jussie might be doing some time. So to make himself look good, I'm going to check into rehab. But we've heard stories over the years that Jussie has had issues, substance issues, that he had a taste for the booger sugar, that he was prominent in doing that. Remember, didn't he at one point get pulled over by the police in a car and gave them his brother's driver's license or something or another? And then they let him go on that. Like, there was a story that came out years ago. I don't know if it was during or before Empire. And that whole thing came out with that. So, he do look good though. I will say that. But, and I like Jussie. And look, there have been people out here that have done 10 times, and I will stand 10 toes down on this shit. I don't give a good goddamn. There have been people out here who have, done 10 times worse, that y'all are forgiven. But because Jussie lied, all of a sudden, y'all have a problem with that? Like, do I think, and I do believe that he wasn't entirely truthful in a lot of what went down and all that was going on, all this other stuff. I think that Jussie was trying to play up a certain image. He wanted to be like, as he called himself, the gay Tupac. A gay political figure. He wanted to channel his inner Bayard Rustin. And all the many of black queer men who, political figures, freedom fighters who have come before him. And that was the image he was portraying. But I believe also behind the scenes, he was getting caught up in that whole Hollywood lifestyle, especially being on a show like Empire. You're introduced to a whole lot of shit when you become an A-list celebrity. The drugs get free flowing. You're invited to a lot of events, so there's a lot of free love, free sex, free drugs, free this, free that. And I believe Jussie got caught up in he got lost in the sauce. So I do believe that there's been a lot of things that are transpired from that whole situation. So, I'm just hoping that he's out here getting the help that he needs. He definitely needs to get the help. Do I think he needs to go to jail? No. Because there have been people that should be in fucking jail that's not in jail. Like, for instance, number 45, that asshole, fake-ass president we got. How many times has he done things and the judge continues, I'm going to throw you in jail. I'm threatening to throw you in jail. I'm going to throw you in jail. Like, can you stop threatening him and just fucking do it already? Like, come on. He literally put the address of Letitia James out there for his stupid people to go taunt her. And he's supposed to be under a gag order. So clearly, this man wants to run around, do whatever the hell he wants with no consequence. See, someone who did something 10 times worse. And he's more of a liar than just Jussie Smollett. Yet he continues to roam free. But y'all want this man in jail. Make it make sense. So it could be rooted in him being black and him being gay. Which is why a lot of y'all want to see him. Oh, he lied. And like, we all don't fucking lie. Now, I wouldn't go that far with a lie. But we've all done some things that we ain't proud of. But I feel like, you know what? The rehab, maybe it'll help smooth things over with the judge. And maybe if Jussie just came out and be like, you know what? Yeah, my bad. I fucked up. It is what it is. Well, I don't say it is what it is because it comes across as dismissive. But I'll be like, yeah, I messed up. I got carried away. I shouldn't have, lied. If he kind of came out and showed a little empathy, I think people will go easier on him and be more forgiving. But I've seen people forgive people for doing way worse. But y'all want to take this man to task over a damn lie. Get on my line with that bullshit. Okay, so let's talk about. So good luck, Jussie. because you definitely gonna need a chair. Let's talk about DJ Envy. So a few days ago, it was reported that iHeart offices, that house DJ Envy's The Breakfast Club show was raided by the feds. However, the radio personality, say that 10 times, I'm getting tongue-tied, attorney is calling cap on the recent reporting. Now, Envy's lawyer Massimo D'Angelo confirmed with TMZ on Friday because, there were stories that came out. Sarah Wallace over on the I-Team with NBC, she reported that the iHeartRadio offices were raided by the FBI and I believe the DEA, that would be the Drug Enforcement Agency, and FBI's Federal Bureau of Investigation, in case y'all didn't know. They said they raided the offices. They wanted to, I guess they were trying to seize computer items and this, that, and the third. I did see that Funkmaster Flex jumped on over at 105. No, he's not on 105.1. He's on Hot 97. He was on Hot 97 throwing shade at DJ Envy. I got that quote, but I'm going to read that to y'all in a second. But he was throwing shade at DJ Envy and Charlamagne, so I guess he don't like them because, they're at the rival radio station. And good on academics for actually remembering the fact that this is similar to the to the Hot 97, 105.1 beef that he used to have way back in the day. It's like it's resurfaced all over again. So, they basically said that they were going to seize computer items, this, that, and the third that was at iHeartRadio or iHeart Studios or iHeart Media, actually, that's what they're called. But they're trying to say that that's not what happened, that there was no raid, that they basically were at the offices to alert Envy that his business partner, Cesar Pina, had been arrested. Now, to that I say, couldn't you just send him a telegram, or couldn't you just call them to tell him? Why would you have to, go down to the job and be like, I'm sorry, but your boy just got arrested? And plus, I don't think that Envy will be dumb enough to do those type of affairs, the Ponzi scheme stuff, on the computers at his job. That would be the dumbest thing. I would think you would do that at your own house, and then they would get a warrant to seize the electronic equipment at his house, not, the job. But people do dumb shit. Or there's people that watch porn at fucking work on the company computer. So there's people that do dumb shit, and I do agree, and I'm thinking that. But you know what? On the other hand, I would be surprised if DJ Envy was to do something this dumb, because what I didn't know is that Joe Budden once suggested to the Breakfast Club host that he could end up in jail for his actions, because I guess Joe Budden, and this is something that Envy admitted himself, that Joe Budden gave him some advice, basically said that you should probably look, there's some red flags with this dude, you need to look into it, and he didn't do it. And normally when it comes to us Virgos, because I told you, I was born September 2nd, he's September 3rd. We talked about that last week. That you can't just go around here and just think, if I'm going to really go all in and gamble with some dude on real estate development and this, that, and the third, I'm going to look into what the tea. I'm not going to sit up in here and not check everything before I dot my I's and cross my T's. I'm going to do a background check. I need to know if you're legit. I need to know what you're all about. And mine's going to be like, oh yeah, I want to learn about real estate, and this guy is really good and he knows what he's doing, and I'm going to vouch for him. And you vouch for him multiple times on The Breakfast Club. You've been given the floor many a times to have that guy up there. I don't listen to The Breakfast Club like that, so I never knew who this guy was and when he was up there. But do I think that DJ Envy might have taken the money? I don't know. Who knows? Nobody knows. But what people are more upset about is that you used your social media platform to take advantage of gullible people who trust, like I said, trusted celebrities, as I said earlier, trusting celebrities more than they do their own politicians. So Funk Flex, what I'm saying is, he said, Because here's another thing. He was getting on my nerves when I watched that clip. Because Funk Flex be going overboard with the goddamn bombs. Every word that comes out of his mouth, when he stops, takes a pause. Like, I was tired of hearing, like, bro, would you stop? Like, bomb drop at the bomb. Like, more, he dropped, child's about to go. He dropped more bombs than they did over in Gaza. It was like, girl, enough. So, he said, I'm going to tell you the question of the day, of the week, of the month. Flex told listeners earlier this week, Mr. Real Estate Rico, did you know that Caesar was a crook? Or were you too dumb to know that he was a crook? Much to people's amusement, the 55-year-old, I was like, damn, Funk Flex is 55? Added bomb sound effects after virtually every statement for the dramatic effect. Yeah, it was getting on my damn nerves. But then again, if you know Funk Flex, he's been doing that for like decades with the whole bomb drop thing. He pretty much started that. But anyway, he says, either way, you don't win. Flex put envy on blast for his ignorance. According to a lot of label people, let me tell you something, New York. There's 3 people involved. There's Real Estate Rico, that would be envy. Then there's Lesser Charge Leonard, which I think he meant Leonard. The pedophile, that's me talking about Charlemagne. He added seemingly looping Charlemagne in the situation. Then you got Caesar, who was arrested last night by the feds. Funk further antagonizes nemesis, who's still waiting to find out what's in store for the future. And then on top of that, we had iHeart release a post. iHeartMedia, when I went on there earlier, they got a job posting for a morning show host at the Breakfast Club. And you know what else at the sidebar I did consider? I was like, ooh, maybe I should fill out the application and try out for the show. But no shade, but I don't particularly care for the Breakfast Club. I don't like what they're about and a lot of stuff. Like, to me, I feel like a lot of times they push a lot of homophobic and transphobic rhetoric, and I do believe that they need some type of representation on that show. Yeah, y'all had T.S. Madison and a bunch of other people on there, but then when you got problematic ass Jess Hilarious, who I have a strange feeling they're going to get that job too anyway, because I feel like this is just fluff. The way I was looking at it, they're going to probably I think they've chosen Angela Yee's replacement, because she's been going for a while. But I think maybe for company policy, they have to put the application up there to make it look like it's an even playing field, even though they probably already decided on who they were putting on. Because I would have thought that they would have given a moment to, they would have had a couple of people like audition and the revolving door, this, that, and the third, similar to how they do The View. You have a girl come on, audition, do the show, and that's that thing. But they've had Jess Hilarious on a lot, so I have a feeling they're gonna give it to her. But I was thinking I should have probably posted that on my page. I'm gonna add it to the topic later on. I'm gonna add the link and stuff on there if y'all want to go there and look at it. But with the DJ Envy Fed story. But yeah, so they posted it 9 days ago. It's a full-time position, and it said it's making, because I want to see how much money they talk about you can make from doing the show. And it's like on site, so yeah, you gotta be in the studio and all that other stuff. $130,000 to $170,000. So that's how much they're paying. They're saying that salary to be determined by multiple factors, including but not limited to relevant experience, knowledge, skills, other job-related qualifications, and alignment with market data. So, and they asked for a 4-year college degree, preferably in communications or broadcast journalism. Could Charlamagne and Envy have a 4-year college degree? I doubt it. In broadcast journalism. Anyway, so good luck, Envy, because you're going to need it. Because I can't believe your ass would be stupid enough to align yourself with somebody without actually checking a background and covering your own ass. And you was given advice by a fellow Virgo, Joe Budden, and you still ignored the red flags. Probably because you got tired of just being in the background while Charlamagne had all his stuff going on and Angela was doing her stuff and nobody was really checking for you. So now, look, you got your attention. And and here's another thing. Do y'all think he should be fired from the job because it's bringing too much attention or heat to the radio station? They probably won't get rid of him simply because it does draw media attention and press and all kind of in this industry, all press is good press. They don't care how, what the kind of press it is. They just happy to get some kind of press. And there's a lot of talk surrounding the Breakfast Club and a lot of talk surrounding 105.1. So I guess, the iHeart execs aren't that bothered because they like all the attention. Okay, so let's talk about Trey Songz, who was under fire yet again for sexual assault. Now, 2 women are accusing singer Tremaine Neverson, aka Trey Songz, of sexually assaulting them at his California home in 2015, the 8 News Now investigators have learned. Now, in TMZ's account of the lawsuit, the women say they believe they were drugged at a party, and the Neverson led them to from his pool to his bedroom, where they passed out fully clothed. They claim they woke up naked the next morning, with one alleging she awoke to Neverson performing non-consensual oral sex on her, and the other accusing him of digitally penetrating her without her consent. Both say Neverson told them to get out of his house when they refused to shower with him after the alleged assaults, calling them little effing girls. When they tried to leave, he allegedly refused to give them back their cell phones, but a security guard eventually intervened, returning the phones from a safe where they'd been stowed. When reached for comment, Neverson's publicist referred to the comment Neverson's attorney Michael Friedman gave TMZ Wednesday night on October 18th, saying this is yet another example of nearly decade-old allegations being repurposed to take advantage of California's constitutionally questionable new look back window. We look forward to vindicating Trey on the merits in court. Well, look, hopefully they do work this out and the charges will be dropped, whatever the case is, and you'll be vindicated because you say, because you say that you didn't do this. But my thing is, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's been way too many stories that have been coming out as of late about Trey Songz in situations where he's assaulted multiple women, including Keke Palmer. Didn't she come out and say something about Trey Songz assaulting her and putting her in a video without her consent and all this other shit? Look, there was a situation that he had in 2018 where it was an incident of domestic violence during an NBA All-Star Weekend game in LA. January 22, there was a former University of Nevada, Las Vegas basketball player Dylan Gonzalez accused Neverson of sexually assaulting her 9 years earlier in Las Vegas. Neverson was sued back in February of 2022, so it was a month after. He was sued for $20 million by a woman who claimed he sexually assaulted her in his LA home in 2016. The case was dismissed in November, but his accuser refiled the lawsuit this past February. Then he was sued again in June for allegedly groping and exposing a woman's breast in 2013 at another of his house parties. So, I'm getting serial sexual assaulter from him, and something has to be done, in my opinion. So, that's all I got to say on that, because it's like, I don't know. Do I know if it's true? I don't know. I wasn't there. But like we always say, if someone comes out and says that they were abused, we should believe them. And so we need to believe them and say alleged, because that's my favorite word. So good luck, Trey, because it seems like this is going to be like the thing on your career. And look, y'all said the same thing about R. Kelly. Even though y'all had the evidence that R. Kelly did some shady shit, y'all still protected him. Y'all still covered for him. Y'all still looked the other way. Here we have an opportunity to deal with something that may or may not have happened. And if he's done it, then he needs to face the consequences of his actions. And that's all I'll say on that. Speaking of sexual assaults, because we'll do this topic and then we'll take a break. So Bravo is being sued by a man who claims he was sexually assaulted on the second season of the Real Housewives spin-off series Ultimate Girls Trip. Now, Marco Vega, the butler hired for season 2 of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, that was the Berserkers season with Brandy Glanville, Dorinda, Taylor Armstrong, Phaedra Parks. Yeah, Tamara was on there. Jill Zarin and Vicky Gunvalson. So that was the season that he was on. So Marco Vega is suing Bravo, claiming he was sexually abused during a wild party at Dorinda Medley's Massachusetts mansion. In court documents obtained by TMZ on Friday, Vega claimed that during the September 2021 shindig, Phaedra Parks slapped his butt and Brandy Glanville ripped his shirt off, exposing his torso. "Earn your money, Marco. Take your shirt off. Do something," Glanville allegedly told him as he yanked his shirt off. I should remember that scene. That scene is actually in the episode. But he seemed like he was all game. But then the way a show is edited is completely different than how someone's actually feeling in real time. Now, Vega alleged the incidents occurred after a striptease show took place at Medley's Bluestone Manor. Once the fun ended for the show, he said producers encouraged him to go over and get the women dancing. He also claimed in his lawsuit, per the outlet, that the women were drinking heavily throughout the night. He further claimed that the events caused a strain in his marriage after his wife got very upset over what happened. Vega is suing Bravo for sexual abuse and harassment, claiming the network has a history of condoning inappropriate behavior from its stars. He is asking for damages. When reached out for comment, Parks' reps told Page 6 she is traveling and unavailable for comment. Well, probably because she's about to start promoting Married to Medicine, and she's probably dealing with that because that's the new show that Phaedra is on. As for Glanville, her rep told us she has the utmost respect for Marco. Anything that occurred on the set that evening was requested by the producers and approved by Marco Vega himself. Page 6 also reached out to Bravo reps for comment on a report that did not receive an immediate response. Now, here's the thing. Well, I should say, but it says that in screenshots shared by a Bravo fan account, Vega said he didn't really connect with any of the ladies and was forcibly stripped, about which he was not happy. He did, however, add that Medley was extremely kind to him. Well, look, Bravo's already got enough on their plate regarding Bethany Frank on her recent lawsuit against them and exposing Bravo for what they've done. And she did the interview a couple of weeks ago with Nene Leakes. And I have to say, sidebar, shout out to Nene and Bethany because they have a podcast together called Bethanini. It's Bathenene. So it's their names put together and it's called Bethanini. I actually listened to it early Saturday morning. It's like under 30 minutes. And they would basically just sit around and just talk about stuff. So they talked about a dinner party that Bethany had. And there was a bunch of celebrities there. Cheryl Burke was there. Tiffany Amber Thiessen was there, or Tiffany Thiessen, she goes by. Jenny Garth was there. Apparently they had a beef going on, but then they patched things up at the party. Larsa Pippen was there, a bunch of people. So they had a conversation about that. So they're doing a little podcast. And plus, Nene has a show that she's doing on her channel, thing called Life of Nene or something or another, but she lays in the bed and she talks about hot topics. I thought she was talking about Will and Jada. She was talking about relationship stuff, like if people go into the bathroom in front of their partner or whatever the case is. If she would do that, or she's down with something like that going down. Because I think somewhere they told, Shannon Sharp made a comment about how he dumped the girl who went and farted, I guess, in front of him or something or another. Anyway, so Bethany's doing her thing, and I like the fact that her and Nene have something going on. Now, I will say this. It is true how producers will push alcohol a lot of times on these reality stars because they want to loosen them up. And everybody knows when you let go of your inhibitions and you had a couple of drinks in you, what happens is you tend to do things more wacky or crazy, whatever the case is, and they need that to make the show interesting. That's why a lot of people do these reality shows. The drunker you get, the messier you get, the crazier you get. But then again, a lot of times what they need to be aware of is that the level of how far are you willing to go. It's like, yeah, I'm loose. Let's take this man, let's rip his clothes off, whatever. Regardless of how he felt at the time, he was like, I was uncomfortable and I went along with it because, I'm on TV, this, that, and the third. But then if it causes a strain in your marriage, I don't know if that's a valid argument to be like, okay, you was down with it before, but you didn't voice it. But then because your wife saw the episode and she reacted a certain way, now you're feeling guilty and now you're feeling upset. and saying you were assaulted. But I do agree that Bravo does have a habit of oversupplying their talent with alcohol. I told y'all, I did an episode of The Real Housewives of New York. I think it was season 11. When they did it was the Big Apple Circus episode, Sending the Clowns. That's the name of the episode. And Timsy Mortimer was the ringmaster. And that whole cast was in my section. Because I always got the talent in my section. As I pointed this out many times when I talk about Bravo and New York and all that stuff. So I had during one sequence, and I'm in the episode, I'm bringing the ladies drinks. That was given to me in a box by production. And I knew if I said no, they were going to find somebody else and I was going to be on TV. So I agreed. And so after I brought it, because I already knew what was going on, I was like, oh, maybe this Papa told I'm going to be on TV if I'm bringing the drinks down. Because I know if I'm bringing it down, I'm already on camera. So then after I brought through the drinks, the producer came on to me and was like, okay, so just so you're aware, you were just recorded. You're on TV. Do you want to sign off on your likeness being used in the episode? So I signed on because I was like, yeah, because if I said no, they could use the footage, but they would have to blur my face out. So you wouldn't even see me in the shot. So I was like, I signed the paperwork. They went off. And then, of course, lo and behold, I watched the episode and I was in the episode. So I understand how this business is played, Chad. You ain't going to play me. But if he wasn't all for being like doing that and being like sexualized and used as an object, you should have said something in the beginning that you wasn't comfortable doing that. So, you know, they had you on the show. They have the reasons why they pick these people to be on these shows and to do the things that they do. But good luck. We'll see if you can be able to fight this and win this in a court of law or in a court period. But I don't know if I don't think he has a case, unfortunately. Okay, so let's get ready to take a break because we are an hour and some change into the show, hour and a half. But before we go to break, I know production was telling me that we have a Kim Zolciak clip, but because we had used her in the picture and I was going to pull the topic. Basically what the topic was is that, you know, they put up that mansion, the one they kept saying wasn't in foreclosure. Is it available to buy? Is it not available to buy? Anyway, the house that has 7 bedrooms and 11 bathrooms, it was put on the market on Monday for a whopping $6 million damn dollars. So this is the hike increase is significant considering the estranged couple bought the infamous property in 2012 for just $880K. So, yeah, if y'all got $6 million, you can buy the house. I don't know where they're gonna go. My thing is, I don't understand why is she buying a house. I just seen the other recent a picture where they were traveling together on the plane. Y'all fighting. They're a hot ass man. Then there's a story that came out that she was getting flirty with Chet Hanks, who is Tom Hanks' son. You know, the one that be speaking in patois like he's Jamaican. And he a whole white man that grew up in the suburbs. How they was getting flirty with each other when they were filming The Surreal Life in Colombia. Speaking of Colombia, shout out to Maluma because he about to be a daddy. I just heard he just revealed that this week that he about to be a father for the first time. His girlfriend is pregnant. And he about to be a daddy. Congratulations to him. But anyway, I know producer said you had a Kim Zolciak clip, and I just heard that she just got vaginal rejuvenation. So somebody who broke ain't got no money, but you got enough money to tighten your puss. Okay. Yeah, so let's show that clip real quick and then we'll come back.
In the door and force them to let you sleep in there. That's just going to make the situation worse for you when we leave.
Look, ma'am, so what we do is mediation. Either if you want to get some things out of there, I need you to agree because he's not going to open that door if you don't agree. Listen to me, if you do not provide access to that, sir, if you continue down this road, it's not going to go well.
What's it going to do? Where's it going to go?
Because you are now making me feel very uncomfortable and unsafe.
I didn't do anything to you.
I need you to calm down.
This is your police tactic. I'm not oblivious to what you do. Not how you want me to open the door for my safety to be in jeopardy.
I want you to open the door so that you can show me your hands so that I can be clear of your intentions. Your safety will not be in jeopardy.
You're saying that, but you're not staying here all night.
You can close the door after we leave.
But she's gonna be in here. Then who's gonna remove her?
She has agreed to not stay in that room. She has agreed to go in and get the property and come back out.
And you believe her? Do you know her?
Look, sir, it doesn't matter. I'm here to resolve the issue.
We have to come up with some kind of compromise.
You're taking her side when you don't, when you're not listening to me.
I've been listening to you for the past 10 minutes, sir.
That.
I've been listening to you for the past 10 minutes, sir.
I would like to have stuff that's important to your health.
Yeah, right.
Okay, that's the priority. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry about that. I don't know how that happened. Did he do that?
I think the
You didn't do it from the kitchen, from the house.
I think the
My comforter, like a blanket.
Yeah, this is how I'm looking at this video because, child, them two are exhausted. I be feeling like all the shit that they be doing, can y'all just lock both their ass up? Because I be feeling like the game that Kim and Corey be playing, the amount of time they be calling the damn cops, if this was anybody else, they'd have probably took both y'all asses in for wasting taxpaying dollars on some bullshit. And here, Kim and Corey always pulling a damn stunt, always calling the cops, always a mess. He, talking about, oh, you're making me feel uncomfortable. No, y'all would have shot, if it was some rapper, y'all would have shot his ass and asked questions later. They just get on my nerves how y'all go above and beyond, and I hate making this shit about race, but a lot of times I've been paying attention to the news and everything that's going on. Y'all make it always so difficult for people of color to not see race in the differences of which y'all treat people. But good luck with the both of y'all to see where y'all gonna be living, because we know it ain't gonna be in that house no more. So now I guess Kim feel like she got egg on her face because, oh, I'm never leaving. I'm gonna leave when I want to leave. Well, bitch, you could have used that vaginal rejuvenation money to get your ass a condo. Put them kids in there because I heard you trying to get full custody. But anyway, good luck to you, girl. So, production did say this earlier, and I forgot to bring this up because I was trying to get through them other stories. And we got a degree in business management at Hampton University. Okay, so he got a degree. I'm not going to throw shade and hate. And yeah, so let's take a break. Before we do, let me promote the Shangela Daniel McGarrigle interview that I did. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but you guys go on my YouTube channel if you're watching this and definitely check out that episode that's up there. We've got a lot of views so far. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It was a good interview, and good luck to you, Daniel, because I'm hoping that stuff is going on with, happening with the interview. I mean, not the interview, but stuff is happening with your case, because we haven't heard anything on what might be going on with your case. You're probably still left in the dark like the rest of us. So hopefully stuff will be worked out soon. But anyway, when we come back, we got some tea on who are we speaking about? We got some Kim Kardashian news, Tyler Perry news, and Dina Menzel talking about race may have played a role in the demise of her marriage to Taye Diggs. Cher, speaking of coochie and rejuvenation, she weighing out her boyfriend with her sexual appetite. And plus, we got some tea on the RuPaul's Drag Race girls. So we're going to take this little break, and we will be right back with more of Chris Evelyn Unfiltered. But yes, please, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already down. yeah, so playing devil's advocate for the people that are probably going to try to run up in here and say some mess. Why now?
I was scared of losing my job. It wasn't just myself. It was myself, my brother, my friends. I had all gotten jobs on the show, and I thought if I came out about it, that they would probably figure out a way to get rid of us all.
And should the lawsuit basically go in your favor, what are you hoping to gain from, everything?
The criminal investigation, I hope it comes to fruition. I filed that report back in November and still haven't heard anything back from the Ruston Police Department in regards to anything being turned up or anything happening with that. Hopefully it does. That's ultimately what I hope happens, because I think when somebody does this to somebody, they deserve to be punished in a criminal way.
Here to give my opinion and carry Nanny. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Give my opinion and carry Nanny. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch.
What's good, bitch? We out here in Milan, drinking sparkling water and eating some spaghettis.
What's your favorite curse word, motherfucker? I just think it's so good. Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, it's so good. You can do a comedy. I can't believe that tired ass motherfucker. You can do it sad. Motherfucker. Oh my God. You can do dramatic. That motherfucker. You can do it so many ways. You can even do it like what is it? What's the clown man in all the Marvel DC comics?
Oh, don't ask me.
Motherfucker.
That's the story that I heard on the news. They said the little girl got her ass cheek bit off by a damn dog. Hold on. Dion! Yes, ma'am? What the hell is so funny? Watching TV. Sick people don't laugh. You shouldn't be laughing when you sick. You shouldn't have a funny bone in your body. Okay. Hell. Oh, mama, it smells good up in here. Oh, you can smell? I didn't say I had COVID. What you cooking? Collard greens, neck bones, mashed potatoes, pork chops, green beans, greens, macaroni and cheese. Oh, that sounds so good. Oh, I bet it do. Alright, I'll be downstairs. Let me know when the food ready. Oh, baby, your Campbell's chicken noodle soup will be ready in a minute. What? Oh, yeah, you sick. Sick people don't eat like this. They eat chicken noodle soup. Oh, man. Well, no, they said... Okay.
Where are the outfits?
Okay.
It's a crowd. I just wanted to know how each other.
Cassandra did. Maybe they don't know what Cassandra went. Maybe they don't know. Girl, one time. Everybody on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What the fuck you gave me, Jack? Why is this acting my throat like that? What the fuck you gave me, Jack? Listen, I don't think I like that. What the fuck you gave me, Jack? What teacup campaign? This is when I get a cup on. Oh, you get cup on. This is when I get a cup on. Oh, but you get me cup on. This is when I get a cup on. What's up? I'm on they say,
Hey, Tom, look. You think you gay? Only wanted to find out. Hey, little daddy.
Hey, bro, I don't swing that way, bro.
Boy, calm down. We just trying to find out if you were gay. With your dirty ass ethicas.
Hey, y'all being too disrespectful. I ain't gay, so stop with all that.
We just making sure, because it's 2023. But you have a good one.
Weirdos.
Oh, God.
Oh, you're bisexual? Yes, for sure. Let's say you have a relationship with a guy, right? But you just in this relationships cannot get or like cannot get the girl. So and you feel like in need of it. So how do you deal with this? You know, I was always afraid to fall in love with a bisexual guy because I always thought I'm not gonna be able to give him everything.
I don't think it's about sex. I think it's about the person you fall in love with. That's what I think. If you are fulfilled with the human being that you're with, then you're good.
What's the hardest part about being bisexual?
That girls think that because you like men, you might be diseased. So a lot of girls automatically assume that I might have gonorrhea or I might have HIV or something.
Really?
Yeah,
So you basically have less chance with the girls?
I think so. I usually have a chance with a girl who's also bisexual. But
you own everything.
Pointed right at you and said, "You ain't no diva."
Tonight on 72 Minutes, we sit down exclusively with the woman Beyonce said is no diva.
You changed your name and already sold your house, and you haven't shown your face since. You've come forward. Why now?
Surviving Renaissance, tonight on one of those streaming channels you forgot.
Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, I when I always say this, like I came out of the womb kind of singing and dancing. So like, you know, ever since I was a little kid, I just remember being, you know, am I going off the screen? I'm trying to find my
one point we met in person, and I mean, he seemed cool, all right, but at the same time, I felt, yeah, he was playing that same role that you kept seeing for decades of a black porn actor. He was this big guy who, you know, gym body and bald and dark skin. I mean, that's the mold that they seem to make of black males in gay porn, where when they're featured with white and light skin Latino porn actors.
That's gonna sort of like equate that, especially being in like my 40s. I need to catch up. You know, I need to like start putting some money away. I need to start thinking about things. And I wasn't going to do that going back to school and getting my master's degree in education for the New York City, Department of Education. I wasn't going to,
Here to give my opinion and carry Annie. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Hey, we're back. I was reading this post. So I wrote, I hate sucking dick without music. I be sounding like a zombie eating flesh. The stupidest stuff you see on social media. But anyway, welcome back, y'all, to the show. Hope we did a little break. Speaking of Sasha Colby, because we did see her in the commercial break, child. Congratulations to her. She dropped a new song called Feel the Power. I posted it on Spotify, but I posted it on my website if you want to hear it. And also, she's set to go on a 22-city North American tour, which is set to kick off in 2024 via Live Nation. So, February 29th is when it kicks off in Calgary. What's AB? Is that Alabama? I don't know what that is. I think that might be Canada, right? And it ends in Honolulu. But yeah, so she has this song that was I was trying to say who was it produced by so we can get to the Low Vibes and Luciana. I like Luciana. I haven't heard much from her in a while. I know she has a song with Caswell too. So it's a bop. It's a fiery house track. It's very Kevin Aviance, very BNG. So if y'all ever get a chance, check out Feel the Power. So shout out to Sasha Colby and her about to embark on the tour. We're gonna get to the other Drag Race stuff later on. I just wanted to shout her out because we saw her in the commercial. All right, so let's get back to the show and let's talk about the Kardashians, child. So now I normally, I don't keep up with these girls, but I just felt like this story was relatively interesting. So that's why I'm bringing it up. So on the Kardashians, the recent episode, the mom of four, Kim Kardashian, 42, opened up about hiring a nanny to spend quality time with son Saint, who's 7.5, saying, "It's really hard for me to be really strict and to discipline a lot," admitted Kardashian per People. "My parents weren't strict at all, and sometimes because I'm really busy, it would be amazing if I had a partner who would tap me out and take over and handle it, but it can't happen like that. I really wanted a male around that would be picking them up and taking them to sports, and I was scared out of my mind to tell their dad that," she continued. Initially, she was hesitant to tell ex-husband Kanye West, with whom she also shares 10-year-old North, 5-year-old Chicago, and 4-year-old Psalm. However, when she introduced him to the nanny, it went better than she expected, saying, "When he was dropping off the kids, Kanye introduced himself. They played 2-on-2 with Saint and him. He's been so nice to him. Like, hey, if you're going to help raise my son," because he handed him the ball really easily or something. He's like, "Don't do that. Have him get it himself. It's some of the rules I would want." And I was like, oh my God, okay, that's great. And, it's unfortunate that, you have 4 kids and you have a ex-husband who is just, you don't never know what you're going to get when you run into him. So, someone like Kim Kardashian was insanely busy and basically keeping that whole family in business and afloat and the real breadwinner of the family. No shade, but we're going to talk facts. We got to talk facts. She has to get some help. And Kanye's running around here with this new wife of his getting baloney washes in boats in Italy, which he's been banned from, and wearing stupid clothes and all this other stuff. And Saint seems like he's someone who needs another parent in his life. Was like, where's his father? I don't want to say like some people, well, a family can't exist without another father. There's people who are single parents that raise kids all the time. But like, I do believe in the whole notion that it takes a village to raise a child. So if you have positive influences around your kids, that helps. I'll even share a story about me. When I was growing up, I didn't have the closest relationship with my father. He and I have a good relationship now. And when I was growing up, my father, I felt like, didn't really spend quality time with me. And I was a kid that needed a lot of attention. I always wanted to aspire and emulate. I mean, I was a mama's boy, but I was also like always following my father around, always wanting to do things with him, did that and the third. And so now we do a lot more things together. Like if he needs me to help him fix something, I come and I help him fix it and all this other stuff. Or any other projects, or sometimes I'll be like, yeah, let's go. You know, I actually would, over the summer when I was doing a lot of it, like I would take my parents to the movies, we go out to eat, so now I'm at a point in my life where it's just like, I want to spend more quality time with family. So I think I've always been a family oriented person. Now me with kids and stuff, I've kind of been entertaining that idea lately, like wanting a family and this and the third, even though I kind of have this whole loner mentality about me. So who knows? Maybe in the next 5 years, I might see me out here with a whole husband and some kids. But so long story short, there was a situation that came about where growing up as a kid, my mother was like seeing like my father really wasn't that big of an influence and wanting to do things and stuff with me. So she got me up in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, and I had like a mentor or whatever, and we would go to the movies. He took me to see Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Child, that scene with Sean Young, the whole transgender thing, that would not work today. But I remember I saw that in the movies because I was a Jim Carrey fan, and that movie was hilarious, among other movies that he's made. Liar Liar is actually one of my favorites, by the way. And you know, there was a lot of that was going on. So the guy would take me out and do things with me. And I don't know, sometimes I always wonder, like, how did that make my father feel that there was another man coming into the picture to take on the duties that he was supposed to be doing and spending quality time with your kid. And I think at the end of the day, that's what kids want. They want somebody who can spend quality time with them. And I know it's really hard because those kids grow up in the spotlight. Their mother's a huge reality star. Their father is someone who's in the music industry and in the fashion industry, but also has a way about him that screams bipolar. He admitted that he's bipolar, but now he's trying to backpedal and say that he got autism, that he's on the spectrum, and that he got autism from his car accident. Now, in the history of me living on this earth, I have never heard of somebody actually becoming autistic from getting into a car accident where they had their jaw wired shut. I don't think that's how that happens. And plus, people who are relatively nice people, Kanye's an asshole and an arrogant SOB. So I'm not getting on like autism spectrum or any kind of autism from him. I think you're full of crap. I don't think you need to be out here self-diagnosing yourself. Now, the bipolar part, I believe, because you said that yourself, and you have been showing those type of behaviors. So that I believe. So you better stop with the false disabilities. But on one hand, it's like, yeah, I know every kid needs a mother and a father. Well, look, there's gay parents too. So, unfortunately, we all can't have a mother and a father in a household. There's some people who are raising single parents. There are lesbians who are in a woman-on-woman relationship that are raising children but have male figures coming in. And men too. Not my biological clock, child. But yeah, so families are what you make it. But as long as you can find somebody that can be that influence in your kid's life and do all the things that, yes, a woman can do, because yes, a woman cannot teach a boy how to be a man or a young man, or what boys have to go through, especially if you're a boy of color. Because let's be clear, those kids are black too. They're not just going to be running around here being Armenian and protected the complexion protection. Because her kids are a lot dark looking than like they're not my complexion. Her kids look darker. Then I heard a story that North don't even hang out with her siblings. She be acting like she the only child. I'm like, you a shady little brat. But Norm's always giving me shady about her attitude. Like, she think it's all about her. But look, Kim, you created that monster. So good luck to you. Hopefully it works out with the whole family and all that other stuff, because that's the worst, is the fact that, you know, when you expect, oh, dad to be in the picture and show, you know, your son what it takes to be like, to grow up and be a young boy, to grow up and be a man, and all the things that it takes, what boys have to deal with, and all those things, and not having that male figure there to do that, like a father, that does hurt. That's why I would say you can always find that person to be a mentor that you know and trust, and vice versa. If it was a girl and there was no mother in the picture, and you were raising your kids like Dwayne Wade, the mother's not in the picture of them kids, so you got Gabrielle Union there, who he's married to. And she's stepping up as the mother and the stepmother and all that other stuff. So I always say, families are what you make it. So shout out to y'all. Good luck, Kim. Now, billionaire Tyler Perry has expressed his true sentiments in response to Paramount's change of heart regarding the sale of BET. So remember it was a while ago, there was stories going around, there was a multitude of moguls that were joining forces to buy BET. Everybody from Will Packer. Was it Will Packer? What's his name? Kenya Barris was up for it. 50 Cent, I believe, was trying to buy at one point. Then you had Diddy was talking about getting BET. There was a lot of people. Every black man was trying to buy it. Who's the one that owned the Weather Channel? He was trying to, I believe, buy it too. He said this. He said, I was disappointed about it for a number of reasons. This is what he said during a Bloomberg summit on Black entrepreneurship at the Gathering spot in Atlanta. He said the way it happened was disrespectful in a lot of ways. He didn't get into specifics, but did say, don't try to get me to pay for something that's not worth anywhere near the value. Perry's remarks came during a panel moderated by Sherri Brantley, head of inclusive programming for Bloomberg. Perry still has a minority stake in the BET Plus streaming service that provides content to Paramount Global properties such as BET and Nickelodeon. God bless him, he says. I'm still working with them. I wish him the best. When Brantley asked if Perry would reconsider if Paramount plays BET up for sale again, he gave a firm no. And here was the gag. Okay, so there was a story. Byron Allen, thank you. That's what it was. There was a story that came out that said that Tyler Perry did come with the money. Initially, I believe it was up for $2 million. $2 billion with a B. He was going to purchase it. He had the money. And then they went and tried to renege and wanted to up it an extra $1 billion. So then they tried to get him to, so he got the money? Let's see if we can get a little more out of him. So now they were trying to be cute and y'all were trying to be greedy. And then he was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And walked away. And to me, it's like, did y'all have any intent of selling BET to begin with? Or y'all were just trying to dingle the carrot in front of all these black multi-billionaire moguls just to see who was going to take the bait? And then when they came forward, now y'all want to play in their face. And to me, that is the ultimate disrespect. Like, you're not going to play in my face and not have us own any kind of intellectual property, because clearly that's not what y'all want to do. But I feel like the smart thing that Tyler Perry and other like-minded people to do, maybe Tyler Perry, Byron Allen, 50 Cent, Kenya Barris, all of them should join forces and put a little money into the pot and launch their very own streaming service or channel. Fuck BET. BET ain't been watchable for me in years. I didn't even watch the BET Hip Hop Awards. That shit was the best. I've seen clips of it online. The BET Awards, I saw that I think it was on Paramount Plus or whatever. So that's all it ends up at anyway. Like, I really don't feel like BET's even worth $1 billion or $2 billion or the $3 billion. I think it's worth less than that. Y'all don't have no real good quality programming, quiet as it's kept, on the network. I do know my mother and sister watch BET Plus, so that's kind of like their thing, and they go in there and they watch. They love all the Queen's Men. They like all those shows. So, and that's what Tyler Perry has a stake in. That's why a lot of his, a lot of his shows end up on that network, because he has a stake in it. And I do believe that y'all need diverse voices on there. So a bunch of y'all put y'all shit together Launch our very own streaming service. There's so many we're so oversaturated as it is. Excuse me. With streaming services. But we need like one Black owned streaming service that comes with like different ideas and concepts, reality shows. Like y'all need a Black Netflix type show on the streaming service. Like you got your shows, you got your sitcoms, you got your dramas, you got your animated stuff, you got, it's a whole hodgepodge of different things. Speaking of which, I'm a little irritated that they upping the coin on Netflix again. Like it's about to be $23 damn. They were trying to charge me that much for like to add an extra person on my because they're cracking down on individuals sharing passwords and stuff. So like I have my friend David on my Netflix in LA, and so if I check in from LA, it's like, oh, they'll let it go for a couple of days and then they'll flag it and be like, oh no, you've been in LA long enough, you have to be back in New York, otherwise we're gonna kick you out. So there's a lot of that fools, and then now they're trying to charge people who are not on the ad tier thing $23 at this point. I said, okay, y'all blowing mine right now. Like, why every couple of months all these streaming services upping their money? So that's kind of got me irritated. But I say all that to say, good luck, Tyler. Hopefully you I guess maybe he'll still stick with BET Plus. That's why he didn't want to really go in and let have, because he didn't want to F up his relationship with BET Plus. But I'm like, if I have a stake in BET Plus, can they fire him? Even if he has a stake in the situation? Because I would be like that, look, just because I got money in something don't necessarily mean I'm not going to be like, okay, but y'all tried to play me. Anyway, good luck, Tyler. Okay, so almost a decade after splitting after 10 years of marriage, Broadway star Idina Menzel is opening up about what played into her marriage falling apart with actor Taye Diggs. Now, on Monday, October 17th, the Let It Go singer recounted what led to her divorce from the All-American alum after 10 years of marriage at the Dinners on Me hosted by Jesse Tyler Ferguson, as reported by The Messenger. Now, the duo first crossed paths in 1995 at the Theater Realm while starring in Rent. Then in 2003, they tied the knot. 6 years later, they welcomed their first son, Walker Diggs, but in December 2013, they pulled the plug on their union and settled their divorce a year later, per People. So what happened to one of Hollywood's most beloved couples? According to Menzel, race played a part in the demise of their union, saying, Tay was on the cover of Essence and Ebony and being interviewed by all these Black journalists, and I think he had his own stuff to deal with that, Menzel said while in conversation with Ferguson. And it seemed like there was some disappointment in the community with him because he was married to a little white Jewish girl, and so I took that on too. As Diggs reached blockbuster acclaim for roles in How Stella Got Her Groove Back and The Best Man, his wife Menzel also created her lane. In 2002, she struck gold in Wicked as Elphaba, earning her a Tony Award. Within the relationship, Menzel noted there was no lack of encouragement from her then husband. He was always so supportive and probably relieved, so he didn't have to feel like he was overshadowing in some way or taking up too much space. She continued, so it was less about being successful and more about that kind of stuff. Additionally, she noted that while they were powerful twosome on red carpets together, she would feel isolated by photographers who would ask, can we get a picture of him by himself? So here's the thing. It's many factors, it seems like, that played into the demise of the divorce. Part of it had to do with race. Now, the race thing I totally get, because there's been this ongoing conversation that even to today that I've been noticing other bloggers have been talking about, a lot of podcasters. I see it in the comments on a lot of the blogs and stuff on social media. Whenever you see somebody who's famous and Black, when they get to a certain status, you see them on the red carpet. Either they're married to a white woman, they're dating a white woman, or they just got a white woman on their arm. Period. Or someone who's non-Black on their arm. And Black people have been taking issue with this because they feel like there's this dog whistle that's put out there that when you are a person who is Black and you get to a certain status, be it financially or career-wise, that to be seen and to get more value, you have to have a white woman, or if you're gay, a white man in your arm, because there's a lot of gay Black celebrities who have been we've been seeing on red carpets and interracial relationships as well. Excuse me. So there's that. Then there's the thing of how Hollywood likes to play this mind game of fame and levels of who's level and this, that, and the third. Yes, we're aware of it's like the movie world is completely different from the Broadway world. Now, Idina Menzel is very well known within the Broadway world. So is Taye Diggs, but Idina Menzel has a bigger career in the theater world, doing Wicked and a bunch of other things. And she's appeared in a lot of TV shows. So that's her wheelhouse. Taye Diggs had a bigger career doing like The Best Man and How Stella Got Her Groove Back. That was his breakout role. And, black women were lusting, and some black men, or men in general, were lusting after him in that movie. And so, yeah, when you see like he's with a white woman, people are going to have a problem with that. Then on top of that, it's the career thing where he's more famous because movies, people are put on a certain pedestal versus Broadway. Because you don't get to see Broadway in millions of households unless it's recorded and put on a streaming service or released theatrically. Then it gets that treatment. But for the most part, Broadway is a live thing that you have to see in person, and a small group of people get to witness that. Whereas a movie, millions of people can watch that movie at the same time in different parts of the world. So Taye Diggs' career was bigger too. And then the overall disrespect of like, oh, well, okay, so now we took the picture with the wife and this and that. Now, can we get a picture with just him? And then you already know like what's going to happen. They're going to use the picture with him by himself. Because they petty like that. Like this industry likes to play mind games. They like to fuck with people and all this other stuff. So it also, a lot of that, if you feed into that beast, it takes a toll on the relationship. And so that's where a lot of that was coming from. And then on top of that, it's like you try not to make your partner feel a certain kind of way because it's like, well, damn, my career's taking off and we should be proud of each other. But now I'm overshadowing you, and now I got to sit and worry about whether or not, how you're feeling, and I'm not going to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor and all that other stuff and all my successes because you're feeling insecure about whatever is going on with you. And I'm spending more energy trying to make you feel good and kill the noise of what's going on in the outside world with the paparazzi and the media people and the reporters and all that other stuff who are making you feel a certain kind of way because you're not on my level as an actor. And that's not me being arrogant or shady. It's just the way these people think. They think in these type of ways. And it does, if you allow the noise to get in, it takes a toll on the relationships. So I totally get that. I feel bad or whatever. And you know what? They've all moved on. I don't know if Idina Menzel is in a new relationship. I did see she was on an episode of View not too long ago with her sister. They were promoting a book, I think. And you know what? Tay has moved on. He's with, oh my God, what's her damn name? April Jones. Is it? Yeah, I think her name is April Jones, right? She's the baby's mama of Omarion. She was in a relationship with Dr. Dre and a whole bunch of other people. So yeah, she's like, she also was on Love and Hip Hop, so that's who he's with, and they seem to be going strong. They've been together for a minute. I thought that she was using them like she used all these other celebrities that she's in a relationship with, but clearly they're in a relationship. And we played them in last week during the commercial break where they were doing the whole Will Smith skit. So there was a lot of that. So good luck to y'all, and it was good to learn that side of hear that story. But anyway, let's move on and let's talk about Miss Cher, child. So, Cher is bragging about having the best sex of her life with boyfriend Alexander A.E. Edwards, but insiders dish that the insatiable cougar is wearing out the young producer and impeding the couple's recording collaboration. This is according to Radar Online, by the way. Sources said Edwards is frustrated about how to handle the believed singer's sexual appetite. A.E. is frustrated and don't know what to do, a tipster told the National Enquirer. Every time he wants to get something done in the studio, she's craving and demanding more. It's got to be a lot for him and frankly a burden on the relationship. The If I Can Turn Back Time singer and Edwards were first linked back in 2022 of November, so that'd be almost a year they've been together. However, spies snitched that the fling cooled in the spring before their May to December romance reignited in the fall. Since Cher had become convinced A was just using her for her status and her millions, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. So look. And she said that, he makes her feel young and supple. When you're a person of a certain age, don't your libido get crazier and higher and whatever? And these days, celebrities, they're always using some type of cream or medication, whatever the case is, to get their libido going. And Cher's always been someone who's young at heart. So she wants her some meats. Look, Madonna is another one who's 65 years old and out here hunching 29, 30, late 20s, early 30-year-old guys. And if I was in a position like one of them, I would date somebody 35 and up. I ain't going no lower than no damn 35. But if I was ever in my 60s, if God forbid I make it to my 60s and 70s, and hopefully I do, I would date young. I mean, they got medications. I don't know about no Viagra, but I do know they have like testosterone pills and shots or whatever that you could take that make you feel like you want to hunch like a teenager. And these are things that I feel like would be cool to do. So why can't you get it in? There's stories about older people in the nursing homes that's getting it in, and there's high STI rates going on in the nursing homes. So Cher is not, just because she's an older woman, she's in her 70s, don't necessarily mean she dead. And some people feel like that Alex is probably using her, and then he's like, well, damn, I gotta put in work now because I'm with this older woman. I really gotta put in the work, and I gotta have sex with her all the time. And it's like, look, child, you do what you gotta do if you're gonna be put in a position where you're hanging out with somebody that's the likes of Cher. And I heard some of her Christmas album. It was released on Friday. There's a lot of cute songs, especially the one she has with Tyga, who is Alex's good friend. So, look, you better work for your supper, little boy. And Cher, in the words of Peaches in a low down dirty shame, work 'em, girl. Okay, so all right, so let's get to these final two topics and we are done with today's show, child. So we got some drag race news. So apparently, Anitra has announced that her knees need a break from walking that fucking duck, as the Drag Race Season 15 queen revealed that she has taken a break from acting. Now, shout out to Pride for this story. It says, shortly after the finale aired earlier this year, the queen has canceled a slew of gigs. So from what I've been hearing is that some people were getting upset with Anitra because there was a situation going on that she wasn't showing up to a lot of her gigs. She was doing a lot of no-call, no-shows. People were getting upset about it. There were people that were booking her for parties and stuff, but she wasn't coming, and she wasn't letting them know what the tea was. So this week, UK-based drag production company Club Kids announced they were canceling their upcoming tour with Anitra. Representatives claimed Anitra had avoided all forms of communication and completely ghosted them when trying to make contact. Anitra eventually took to her Instagram story to apologize for her recent behavior and that she needed to focus on her health, saying, I'm sorry to announce that I will not be touring with Club Kids. This year has been very difficult for me in a lot of areas, and there is a lot happening behind the scenes that I'm not ready to speak on at this time. I know this will disappoint a lot of people, but I am a human being and just need a moment to heal properly and return to you 100%. Please understand I love drag and I wish I could be there with you all, but I have reached the point of necessity. This isn't me quitting, just stepping away for a moment to give my body what it needs. Please understand and stop the hate messages. If you can't love yourself, how the hell can you love somebody else? Can I get an amen up in here? She did put that in there, but not the amen part. That was me. And then Anitra signed it off by her government name, which is Isaiah. And this was posted on October 19th. So, yeah, so first things first, I wish her well on getting her health together, because if there's one thing you need to do is if you're feeling the kind of a way or whatever, you should focus on your health. I know it's a lot when you're performing. Particularly, Anitra has set quite the bar for herself when she was on Drag Race, where she did, the what was it, the talent show challenge, which was she did a little, she broke some wood, she did some martial arts, and she did her infamous walk that effing duck dance move, which was the duck walk, which we're not going to get into Aja and the Ballroom Girls critiquing the show like Drag Race and Anitra for not I guess, improper form when it comes to voguing. So, there have been people who, Naomi calls it nogging. So we're not going to go into that whole thing. But, I like to always give a little backstory to everything just so I'm covering all the bases. So I totally understand, why she would need to step away. But the thing is, if you're not able to deal, if you're not cut out for a certain thing because, you've got injuries or there's been issues where you're booked for gigs and they're not paying you your money, which we know happens a lot of times when you're a drag queen performing at certain places, they don't have your money, they don't have this, there's always some issues, some drama. And I've seen Anisha performing around, on her Instagram, and I've commented on her stuff, and she's like, a lot of the stuff that I've commented on. But like I said, if you need to work on your mental and your physical health, then by all means take the time to do that. And I'm sure she'll probably do my next the next queen I'm about to talk about, Cameron Michaels. We'll probably have to wait a whole nother year for her to really reveal okay, so what happened? Why you had to step away, and why didn't we hear from you, and what was going on with all these different things with you in regards to the behind the scenes shenanigans. So it could be that they've been moving funny with behind the scenes in regards to the business. And then also, that's Cameron Michaels, by the way, and all that other good stuff. So good luck to you, Anitra girl. Because you definitely need it. If you need to take time out for your mental health and your physical and all this stuff, you go ahead and do that. Now, speaking of Cameron Michaels, since we already have her picture up, she got a little candid because, she had disappeared from social media for almost a year. It would make a year this year almost that she stepped away. So yesterday, October 20th, Cameron took to social media to reveal the reason why they disappeared from social media for almost a year. The last time Cameron made a social media post was Halloween 2022. We have a clip on why she, as to her reasoning why she stepped away. And I felt it was important to bring this clip on here so that way, because, we're in what I didn't know. What was it? ADHD awareness month. October is ADHD awareness month, which I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was a thing. I know we have mental health awareness and all other stuff, and ADHD is part of your mental health. So, so we have that clip, and we're going to play that clip for you guys, and then we'll come back and I'll give my opinion on this story. So, go to clip.
Hi there. It has been a very long time since we have spoken. I think it's been almost a year, actually. So hello again. I haven't posted anything in a very long time. I wanted to share something before I post anything else that is very important to me and a very big deal to me. And the universe is universing with me feeling the need to make this video and come out because this month of all months, October, is ADHD Awareness Month. Recently, this year, this late in life, I was diagnosed with ADHD. That might not sound like a big deal to some of you, and that is very understandable because ADHD didn't sound like a big deal to me before I was diagnosed. To me, ADHD meant, oh, you're hyper or you can't focus. It is astronomically more complex and difficult. So I'm posting this video to let you know that I will be talking about it. I feel like it's very important for me to do so because after my diagnosis, seeing videos of other people talking about their symptoms and how they deal with it in their day-to-day life brought me to tears. I would sit and watch videos and cry because suddenly my brain and the way that it reacts to certain things just started to make sense. If I can post those videos and help just one other person understand themselves a little bit better, that's all I could ask for. So those videos, it's not going to be all of my content, but I am going to talk about it, and those videos may not be for you, and that's okay. You can scroll right past them, but I'm posting them because this diagnosis has changed my life. And again, if I can talk about it and help someone else, then I'm going to do it. I feel like I'm reintroducing myself because I'm meeting myself for the first time. I'm excited to be back. I am excited to share some things that have gone on in my life, and we have a lot to catch up on. Oh my God, we have so much to talk about, and we will. But I wanted to make this video first because this is a very big deal, and it will be part of my content moving forward. My neurodivergent brain, braining the way that it brains. It's not fun sometimes. Anyways, now we know. Now we know. And I'm excited to move forward and post some stuff for you guys again. And yeah, happy to be back. Oh, and also, happy Halloween.
Yes, shout out to Cameron. I would say I'm very proud of him for being so forthcoming, and I just felt like it was really important for y'all to hear it come from them and speaking out about things, because you know what, I was gonna say, like, I thought the same thing that he thought regarding you know, ADHD, that you had to be hyper and you got to be all over the place. You can't focus and this and the third. And you have to realize, and I think we all need to realize, like, chemical imbalances in the brain, like a lot of it is complex, and different diagnoses is like it's so many levels to the diagnosis. So it's like one thing is not one thing. So the ADHD is not just one thing. It's not, you know, attention deficit. They say it's attention deficit hyperactive disorder. So does that mean because it's defined as ADHD that we have to come up with a more neutral name when we're talking about that? Like, I don't know, like, does that mean, I know everyone's like, oh God, now we're gonna change things again so we can add it. But it's like, I feel like a lot of times when it's come to, as we evolve as a species, we've always had things that are just, oh, it's just this and that's that, and that's the way it should be. It's black and white. But nothing in life, as we've come to learn, as things change, be it mental health, gender identity, sexual orientation, all these different things, we're coming to realize that things are not black and white. Everything's got a shade of gray. Things are complex. So the more we learn about mental illness, I feel like the better off we'll be as a species. And if you're feeling any kind of way regarding your mental health, definitely, like, if you're feeling a ways, talk to your doctor, see if you can get a therapist. Don't, you know, I know people be so quick to want to throw some medication on some shit. But I feel like if you're feeling kind of ways, it's like, yeah, take a break. I think it's cool to take a break from social media for a while, just to get your head right and to get your priorities in order and all that other stuff, because those are the things that's most important. So shout out to Cameron. I'm proud that they're back on social media. I did see a picture that he posted of I think he was in a jockstrap or something or another. So now he's back to posting little photos and this, that, and the third. And I'm looking forward to seeing his reels where he's getting more candid about his personal life. Because I always felt that Cameron, the way they came across was that they were very quiet, very, like, it was a wall, and you never really expressed themselves, especially when they were on Drag Race. And then I had seen Cameron a few times when I was at DragCon. You know, he was running around with Boomer Banks at the time when I went. And then he came over to the booth that I was at, and then they all started doing like photo shoots and this, that, and the third. So shout out to Cameron. Good luck to you on all your endeavors, and I'm glad you're back on social media, and looking forward to seeing a lot of the Queen's looks, you know, for Halloween and all that other good stuff. So without further ado, we are at the end of our show, okay? So, you know, we did 2.5 hour show. I think similar to what we did last week. I'm glad to see we got the mental health stuff at the bottom. You know, we always keep that on file just in case, because we do talk a lot about mental health on this show, which I always feel like is very important, that everybody should take care of their mind, body, and spirit. Everybody should take care of their mental health, because if your mental health ain't ready, you know, the rest of the shit gonna fall apart, because the body can't live without the brain and the mind. So thank you all for watching. Tune in next week for a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. And yeah, we'll be coming with the latest celebrity news and gossip. Thanks to my producing partner, EJ Parker, who's been in the background hitting them buttons and providing all the clips and all that good stuff. So all the bells and whistles stuff you see, that's all him in the background. And yeah, and me running my mouth. Thank you all for watching yet again. Please like and subscribe. Hit that button down below so that way you're showing your love for the show. And tell your friends, all that good stuff. I'll be posting all these clips all over my social medias anyway if you don't get to watch it. But anyway, love you all for watching. Let me shut up finally. Ciao, darlings.